Good morning, good morning. All of my beautiful people, man. How are we doing this morning? You know what I'm saying? I would like to say welcome to Legal Live, man. It's your boy Ghost Rider, man. It's Friday. I'm in here chilling, man. You know, looking good, feeling good. I just want to tell everyone this morning, I would like to say good morning. As you guys come in the stream, make sure y'all double tap the screen. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell, guys. We are not talking about James Comey this morning. We will talk about him. But right before I started the live stream, I see that James Comey got indicted. Now, if you guys don't remember who James Comey is, let me just tell y'all real quick. We're going to do this in the intro, you know. I'll let y'all look at the lake all the time, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'll just tell y'all this information now. Real quick, ex-FBI Director James Comey was indicted. You guys remember James Comey? Y'all know y'all know who James Comey is? Hold up, let me put this sweater on, man. It's getting a little nippy. All right. Y'all remember James Comey, man? Y'all remember who James Comey is? You know what I'm saying? So James Comey got indicted yesterday, guys. Let me see. The former FBI director, James Comey. This is what we gonna do. We gonna do Reuters. Reuters is like one of my favorites, okay? So this was September 25th, of course, a few hours ago. Former FBI Director James Comey was criminally indicted on Thursday with false statements and obstruction of justice over congressional testimony he gave in September of 2020 about the investigation into contacts between President Donald Trump's 2016 campaign and the Russian government. So, guys, that's something for y'all to keep up with. Former FBI Director James Comey was indicted. If you guys ever hear me say anything about this situation, you guys will always hear me say that I think we need to take the political violence or the political atmosphere, the political climate, we need to bring that down. That's what y'all hear me say. That being said, man, hearing that James Comey was indicted, man, I'll say that, man, I'm not really too much going to speak against that. I'm just not. What you guys think? Guys, we talking about the economy and President Trump breaking from party norms, maintaining record highs on the stock market this morning. But I'm saying, what do you guys think about James Comey being indicted? I'm going to do a whole live stream on this. Oh, so Southern Mofo says it's about time. Look, you really think that? You think he a criminal? Look, this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say that I think he did interfere in that election to help President Trump and then to try to help Hillary Clinton. You see what I'm saying? I believe that James Comey, and this is just my opinion, for what I see him going up there talking about classified emails and everything like that, I think that James Comey was one of the most political FBI directors in U.S. history. So Southern Mofo says that maybe it is about time, you know? Like, you never heard me say that. Like Letitia James, I believe that going after Letitia James, I think it's going to be almost impossible to get her. So is Adam Schiff too. But James Comey is something totally different, as you see, and they got him. And y'all never heard me defend James Comey, and that's why. Because I do feel like he was political during that time. Was he not? Y'all remember the time during the election? We'll go over it during the live stream, but during the election, he came out and said, oh, Hillary Clinton did have classified emails. And then he come out trying to help her out or like, bro, it's too much from an FBI director. Yeah, man, yeah. So they got James Comey, man, you know. Guys, make sure y'all double tap the screen, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. He says Comey going down. Yeah, he is going down, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what that is. I don't know about you saying going down. I don't know what going down is. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in America is innocent until proven guilty, but he has been charged. That being said, guys, that's going to be our intro for the morning. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to hop out the way for just a second. Still up here in upstate New York near the Finger Lakes, Appalachian Mountains, man. It's kind of chilly this morning, you know what I'm saying? But it's a beautiful day. Every day is a beautiful day. That being said, I'm going to hop out the way. Y'all make sure y'all double tap the screen, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. We're going to get started with our regularly scheduled programming and content in just a moment. Guys, we're going to go ahead and start the content. Welcome in this morning, Legal Wars Live. You kicking it with your big favorite host, the Ghost. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, I'm kind of goofy this morning. It's like Friday, man. It's like the 4th day this week. We dropped the vlog as well. You guys go check that out. It's We the People #6. It's under the video tags. I appreciate all your love and support. You know what I'm saying, guys? Day 73, this is the We the People tour. You know, if you people don't know, I've been on the road for 73 days, man. You ask me, is everything peachy cream? Nah. Is everything in your life peachy cream? Go ask Elon if everything in his life peachy cream. He got the most money than anybody in the world. You see what I'm saying? So life isn't supposed to be peachy cream all the time, especially for someone like me who's a warrior, man. You know, that being said, man, we out here and we going to be out here. And I got 3 cases I'm litigating right now, and I'm looking for number 5 because I got 4 in my back pocket. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Justice fighter, if you guys didn't know. But besides all that, let's get to the content, man. To maintain record highs on the stock market, President Trump will have to break from party norms. Day 73, New York, baby. Let's get it. Before we get started, I ask you guys to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell. Guys, look, straight into the content. You know what I'm saying? I started the stream talking about James Comey. You know what I'm saying? That's breaking news. That's something we're going to get into. But we're going to get into what we talking about today, okay? Let's get to it. The business of America. Okay, this isn't overseas business, this domestic business, but it's important. What I'm talking about today is going to determine who will take over the House of Representatives or maintain power in the House of Representatives, and who's going to take over or maintain power in the Senate. If you talk about, when we talk about Israel, we talk about Ukraine, those things are important to voters. Don't get that wrong. If you talk about transgenders or immigration, those things are important to voters as well. Immigration probably more so, a lot more so. You know, but when you talk about the economy, that's the straw that broke the camel's back. So let's get into it, guys. I ask again that if y'all are on the cell phone, y'all double tap the screen, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell. Guys, if you follow the content I told you before, I do not believe in trickle-down economics. I do not believe in trickle-down economics, although due to President Trump being a businessman, I gave him a little more credit than I would a regular Republican, okay? To back up my point, and this is what I mean. We just had the largest tax cut in U.S. history. Everybody knows it as the big, beautiful bill or the big, ugly bill, whichever side of the aisle you on. You know what I'm saying? But it delivered the largest tax cut in U.S. history. This is what Republicans believe in. So as a Republican, y'all tell me if I'm wrong. I'm not a Republican, but this is what they believe in economically, okay? They believe that the businesses of America employ the people. Is that right or wrong? We're going to get into the content. I got news stories and everything, okay? The Republicans believe the businesses of America employ the people. You say, Ghost, what you talking about? Democrats believe that too. Here's the Republicans' theses or their philosophy, okay, on taxes. They believe that because the businesses create the jobs and the business owners are creating the jobs, that we're going to give them a tax break or we're going to give them some kind of financial relief, okay? Now, with that financial relief, which in the case of the big, beautiful bill is about $200,000 per year, over $200,000 per year. So President Trump in 4 years, almost gave those businesses $1 million. But we'll get into that in just a second. What he believes is that I'm going to give a tax cut to this business owner or this business, and in return, what he's going to do, because he's the one that's providing the jobs, right? In turn, what he's going to do is he's going to go out there and he's going to hire people. So the thinking is I give the business owner a tax cut, and in return, he goes to hire people. That's the Republican philosophy. Or in return, the money, that tax cut, that $200,000 something a year, you know what I'm saying, is going to trickle down. That's what the Republicans believe. What I'm saying is I don't believe in trickle-down economics. I don't think it works. So with President Trump giving a tax cut, to those businesses, this is what I'm saying. Right after you do that tax cut, that's the biggest tax cut in U.S. history. The stock market's supposed to hit record highs, which that happened, and the job market's supposed to be booming. Listen, if I give tax cuts to these business owners, right? If you go into the American people, y'all have to listen to me now. Tell me how I'm not making sense. I'm going to the American people and I'm saying, hey, I'm not going to cut your taxes. I'm going to cut these rich people taxes, because cutting their taxes, the money's going to trickle down and it's going to make everything better, right? So as an American voter, I hear you say that. Say I'm okay, I'm for that or whatever. I'm a Republican. Here's my thing. You got to have results with that. Where's the results at? That's my question. You have to have results. With Ghostwriter, you have to have results. I don't care if you're a Republican, an independent, or a Democrat. You come forward and you told us, I'm going to give these businesses a tax cut. The results is that they're going to hire American workers. The American people have to feel something from this. If they're not feeling this, or if they're not getting that, something's wrong. They got to get something out of this. What are the American workers getting? What are the American people getting out of you giving about 1 million or less business owners a tax cut? What the American workers getting out of it? So I'm saying your whole thesis to promote economic growth is that I'm gonna give them a tax cut to they're gonna hire people. It's not translating into jobs. You say, Ghost, you too early. I might be too early with this. We might be too early with the analysis. But what I'm saying is, in my opinion, from my understanding, my little understanding, I'm not economics major, but from my little understanding, from my opinion, that job market should look like that stock market right now. The stock market hit record highs, but with the jobs report and other things I see going on in the economy, the stock market in which 68% of Americans have some sort of investment in, retirement, some sort of investment, has in recent days started to decline a little bit from that record growth. That's not no big deal. It could bounce back. You see what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is President Trump has to continue to flex his economic plan. And in the end, he's going to have to break from Republicans if he wants to maintain a healthy economy, economic growth, and a soaring stock market, which will lead to an age of prosperity that President Trump has promised. If you guys have not liked the video, I ask that you'll like the video. If you're on a cell phone, all you got to do is double tap your screen, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell. Boy, I wish I had some of my Republicans in here right now, because I would talk to them and ask them right now, what's going on, man? What's going on? What you guys think? You know what I'm saying? Mark says the job market is not booming. I didn't say it was booming at all, sir. I promise you I did not say it was booming. We finna get into some numbers and some statistics. But what I'm saying with the Republicans' theses that trickle-down economics creates jobs, we got to see the results. What I'm saying is, if we do not see the results in President Trump is going to run this playbook for the Republicans have tax cut playbook. He going to run this playbook better than any Republican you could go get. Factual. He knows the numbers better. He's a businessman. He understands the system, everything better. So what I'm saying is, if we don't see results, then when are we going to say that trickle economics do not work? When are we going to say that? I'm trying to look down in the chat. I'm saying, oh, so Seth and Aaron saying they're Republicans. So Seth and Aaron, this is what I'm saying. Jonathan, this is what I'm saying. All you guys, this is what I'm saying. Why isn't the job market booming right now? I see the stock market. Why isn't the job market booming? Because I'm saying, if you giving these rich people tax cuts, and at the same time you cut Medicare and Medicaid and SNAP, and at the same time people can't get a job, I'm saying, I'm trying to see, like, why are we giving tax cuts to these rich people if it's not going to stimulate the economy? That's my question. Let's get into the news. We'll talk about it a little bit more in a second. So our source for this morning's news, we got three different stories, but where we're going to start is with Yahoo Finance. This was published on September 26th. You know what I'm saying? Today, markets are putting the brakes on stocks' recent record-breaking rally amid debate over whether AI fever is stretching valuations too much. If you guys do not know it, like, the AI is going to be like, in my opinion, it'll be as big as any other technology boom we've had in our history. So if you guys don't know it, and I'll tell you guys a number right now, just so you can see worldwide, this is going to be an estimate. But I want you to see how much money in the world is being put into AI by governments, by business leaders all over the world. Okay, total estimates of investment in AI as of 2025. Okay, so let's look up and see if we can see how much money is being put into AI. 1.5 trillion. A total investment in AI as of 2025 is projected to reach 1.5 trillion worldwide, and this is according to Gartner. Gartner. This investment is expected to continue growing, with the market forecasted to expand at a compound annual growth rate of 19.2%, potentially reaching 3.68 trillion by 2034. Bro, that's a lot of money they pumping into AI. The more success they have with AI, the more money they're going to pump into AI. You see what I'm saying? So that's what Yahoo Finance is saying, that they're putting the brakes on stocks. Record-breaking rally, because the investors are having debate whether AI fever is stretching valuations too much. They're having a debate is whether AI is going to be what people say that it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, the uplift from the Federal Reserve switch to lowering rates is fading. So, guys, you know, if you don't know, we've seen a big bump in the stock market because the Federal Reserve finally cut the interest rates. And that signs a division among policymakers dent hopes for another 2 cuts this year. So what they're saying is that there's a chance that the cut in the interest rates is the only cut we gonna get. There's a chance that they won't cut it no more. And a positive sign for the labor market, jobless claims data released Thursday. Today is Friday. That's yesterday. Showed that the number of Americans filing for unemployment dropped to 218,000 for the week ending September 20th from 232,000 previously. Continuing claims also fell slightly to 1.92 million. So that's good news for President Trump. You know what I'm saying? Ghostwriter be doing streams. I'll be saying you got to watch that job market, man. That's real important. That's something that Americans are feeling right now. Look, we might not all understand this, but what I'm saying is say I'm a regular American voter at 45 years old, and I'm going out there with my family. I got a wife and 2 kids, and I'm going out there attempting to get a job, and I can't find a job. Imagine the voter who can't find a job or have difficulties finding a good paying job. The only job they want to offer him is a job that an immigrant just got deported from. So cheap paying job. That means they don't got that much money. He got kids and stuff. So say he's seen his health insurance raised. And at the same time, they probably get snapped. So they snap get cut. You get the picture? For the voters making less than $50,000 a year, that is a ripe ground for the Democrats taking over the House and possibly the Senate in 2026. You know what I'm saying? I say this all the time. The incumbent party has a problem keeping Congress. That's facts. That's history. Every 2 years, 4 years, whatever. It happened to President Obama. It happened to President Trump in his first term. That's why he ended up getting impeached. When the Democrats took over, that's when he got impeached. What I'm trying to say is that stock market, that job market, that economy is what's going to make them change them voters' minds. We're going to get into it a little bit more. Meanwhile, U.S. second quarter GDP rose to an annualized pace of 3.8%, rebounding from a 0.6 decline in quarter 1 and well above estimates for a 3.3% rate of growth. President Trump, salute again. I don't care if you're a Republican, an independent, or a Democrat, we almost have 4% at that GDP, bro. That's tremendous growth. Look, President Trump said that first quarter was due to President Biden, which, you know what I'm saying? He said that first quarter was due to President Biden because President Trump came in January. So what's the first quarter of the year? The first few months when it come out in March or April, he said those were President Biden's policies. Well, that very next quarter, it's predicted that the U.S. economy will grow 3.3%. President Trump, his numbers, in that next quarter, you see what I'm saying? That next 3 months, when them numbers came out, the economy grew 3.8%, nearly 4%. You know what I got to say to that, Big President T? Them numbers look good, man. Real good. The thing about it is maintaining it. That's the thing about it is maintaining it. We're going to talk about that. That sets the stage for Friday's release. That's today of the Personal Consumption Expenditures Index, the Fed's preferred gauge of inflation. The PCE print for August is expected to show an erasing in price pressures, which could make a case for a shift in rate policy. In corporates, Costco is expected to report its quarterly results after the bell on Thursday. Investors expect to see a jump in sales as shoppers pursue deals amid economic uncertainty. If you guys have not liked the video, I ask that you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell. What's up, Rock Fresh? What's up, Rock Fresh, man? I need a moderator in here this morning, man. I appreciate that donation, sir. If you guys want to donate to the channel, man, super chat, super sticker, super thanks. They start at 99 cents. You can hit that button with the $ in it, and your donations are much appreciated. Rock Fresh, please, 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 my brother. If you have not hit that notification bell, hit that notification bell so you could come live every time we come live and y'all could participate in this political debate. Agonize says, didn't Trump fire the person during the numbers initially and put someone who could fudge the numbers for him? Hey, so what Agonize is saying is that President Trump fired. I mean, if you want to say that, man, but this is what I'm going to say to that. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you come to ghostwriter with something, I'm going to give you a common sense analysis. This is what I'm going to say to that, Rock Fresh or Agonize. Look, if the Democrats seen that happening, how you think they would respond? You got to always remember there's the other side over there who is opposing President Trump completely. So, you know, if they knew or they had proof that he was fudging the numbers, you know, but I mean, we cannot stop all corruption. We cannot stop or make the whole world perfect. There's irregularities or there's this and that happens with every White House. You see what I'm saying? But I'm saying for the numbers that we do have, we just going to go by the numbers that we do have, regardless of what your numbers say. Rock Fresh, appreciate it, baby. Y'all see Rock Fresh, how he keep donating to the channel. That's what y'all need to do, man. Listen, regardless of what the numbers do say, the numbers could say the stock market is beyond the Dow Jones could hit 47,000. I ain't never heard nobody predict the Dow Jones was going to be hit 46,000 points, but Ghostwriter said it first that the Dow Jones was going to hit 46,000. It's going to hit it. Let's say the Dow Jones hit the Dow is 48,000. So the Dow at 48,000, let's say the job numbers look like President Biden's job numbers. Let's say, because President Biden was what he had the whole time he was president, almost nearly 5 years past his presidency. You talking about positive gains in the stock market. That's what he was. I mean, positive gains in the job market. That's what he was delivering. Look, let me say, 68% of Americans have some sort of investment in the stock market. Okay, we've already said that. So only 20% of Americans are actually taking money from their pockets and investing it in the stock market. So that other 48% who is seeing that money from the stock market is basically from their 401k, which no one's hating on. We want to see 401ks go up and not down. That's one of the main things Americans care about is retirement. But what I'm saying is that even if you have the highest stock market numbers, if your job markets look good, if all your numbers look good, if your GDP looks good, but if someone is still, regardless of the numbers is just for us political pundits to come out and say, hey, President Trump doing good on the economy or he doing bad on the economy. That's all those numbers are for. What I'm saying is what's going to matter. Anything in politics, you always got to stay focused on the prize, and the prize is the voters. It don't matter what the Republicans think, what the Democrats think. It don't matter what the president think. It matters about them voters. The voters are going to determine. Always understand that, okay? So now let's talk about it. If the numbers are perfect, everything is perfect, beyond perfect, but the average American is going in the grocery store and can't stay ahead. The average American, the rent's too high still. You can't find a job or a good job. That's what happened with President Biden. I'm saying them numbers ain't gonna mean nothing, bro, if the people don't feel it on the ground. That's all I'm trying to say with all of that. Them numbers do not mean anything at all if that voter doesn't feel that growth. That voter needs to feel them numbers. If the voter's not feeling the numbers, what's the gain of having good numbers? You see what I'm saying? My boy Rock Fresh said, "My salute." That's my dog in here, man. He donating and everything. Y'all need to get like Rock Fresh. Gary Plum, I don't know what you're talking about. He don't need to babysit. He need to listen to what I'm saying. I have no clue what you're talking about, though. Guys, if y'all have not liked the video, make sure y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Let's keep going with the content. This Yahoo Finance, it was published yesterday at 1:08 p.m. So stocks fall for a third session in a row as Oracle drops, Fed division casts doubt over future policy. Stocks retreated. Listen to me now. Retreated. That's from record numbers. That's from record growth. That's from Dow Jones hitting 46,000 index. So they retreated for a third day in a row. They slide on Thursday as Wall Street markets assess division among Federal Reserve policymakers, while better than expected economic data put expected rate cuts at risk. So y'all hear him saying it. You know what I'm saying? They keep expecting the economy to be worse than it is, but it looks like President Trump is holding it together. So because he's holding it, listen, the rates usually get cut whenever the economy is doing bad. That's kind of like to stimulate economic growth, okay? But what I'm saying is they keep looking at the numbers, and the numbers is showing the economy is doing better than what they expected. So Jerome Powell is having a problem with cutting the rates. You see what I'm saying? So because he won't cut the rates, I think that's going to affect President Trump's stock market. The Dow Jones Industrial average dropped 0.4%. while the S&P 500 fell 0.5%. That S&P 500, that's where y'all retirements at. So every time you see that S&P 500 drop, that's your retirements dropping, okay? The tech-heavy NASDAQ composite slid about 0.5%. Tech stocks declined as Oracle slid on the heels of an analyst sell rating, okay? A better than expected GDP print released this morning. So when somebody said that President Trump, he fired and hired so they could fudge the numbers, that's not helping him in this situation because that GDP looking so good, along with a drop in jobless claims, made the Federal Reserve policy for next month less predictable. Before that drop in jobless claims last week, that's reported this week, before that GDP, you know what I'm saying, came out and we saw nearly 4% growth, Jerome Powell, he just know, bro, since President Trump got elected, they just knowing that America's going to go into a recession. Looking at the clock, we waiting on it. When it's coming? They just knowing America's going to go into a recession. You feel that? So, predicting the decline, Jerome Powell did what you do in those situations. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut the rates. We saw negative month of job growth. That's the first time that happened since before President Biden got elected. He's seeing President Trump with these tariffs. He's seeing that inflation. He's seeing it. So he's saying, hey, look, the economic outcast, I'm going to do what we do in the Fed. We're going to cut the interest rates because it's not looking good. Hold up a second, partner, pump your brakes. The next week come and the GDP at like 4% growth. Look, we finna look this up. When the last time America had 4% economic growth, bro? You know how much economic growth 4% is? Let's say I ain't picking on my boy Elon, big Elon. You feel what I'm saying? But look, say Elon, the richest dude in the world. You know, it's 700 billion. That's almost to it with a T. That's you at when you go from a B to T in money. Okay, he almost at $1 trillion with 700 billion. Imagine 4% economic growth. America's the richest nation in the world, the biggest economy in the world. So the richest nation with a 4% economic growth, that's tremendous. You see what I'm saying? If you had let's say you was a millionaire, I'm gonna do small numbers so you can understand. If let's say you was a millionaire and you had 4% economic growth. That's tremendous, bro. When is the last time? The last time y'all watch some. If y'all a Trump fan, you might want to be in the stream right now. When is the last time America had 4%? Had, let's say, 3%. Had a GDP of 3%. When the last time? I just want to show you this. Y'all hold up. Give me a second. It's been a while. And when we come up with these numbers, it might have been in President Trump's economy the last time we had economic growth like that. But then but you can't hate on President Biden because we didn't have economic growth, but he created a lot of jobs. But although he created a lot of jobs, the Americans weren't feeling the impact. You had a president to where they remembered when gas was cheaper. They remember everything was cheaper under President Trump. And then you had President Biden where the GDP, or not the GDP, excuse me, you have President Biden where inflation in 2022, it just went out of control. That ain't necessarily President Biden's fault. It happens every 20 years. That's why gas ain't 25 cents no more. I remember hearing my parents talk about gas being 25 cents. But inflation is why it's not 25 cents, where we was just at that 20-year mark in 2022. So inflation happened and everything went higher. So you had a president who couldn't really articulate his points that good due to his age and his brain injuries and everything like that. But he had the lowest job unemployment rates in U.S. history. He created 4 years of positive job growth. I'm talking about months he created hundreds of thousands of jobs. But he was standing next to a president who was the president prior to inflation. And he promising on day one, I'm going to lower the prices on day one. It was just hard for President Biden to compete against that. But what I'm trying to say is that regardless, I do not believe in trickle-down economics. I do not believe it works. That's where we standing. I'm going to get back to the news and we'll finish, okay? Guys, one more time. Before we get back to the news and the analysis, I ask if you guys have it. If you're on a cell phone, that you'll double tap your screen. You'll like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell. Also, guys, everyone is welcome. In this stream, I just ask that you guys be respectful to others. I welcome you guys, Republicans, Independents, and Democrats. Jump down in the comments and let your voices be heard. And one last thing, guys, can't forget this, okay? We have to pay the bills. I don't have any sponsors yet. I'm not taking money from no party. I ain't got a studio yet, so all I depend on is these small donations from guys like you, guys like my boy Rock Fresh. So if you guys want to donate to the channel like my boy Rock Fresh, you know what I'm saying? Super chats, super stickers, and super things start at 99 cents. You know what I'm saying? You guys, I would appreciate your donations. Just hit that button with the $sign in it. Your donations are much appreciated. So let's keep the conversation going. I'm trying to prove with my argument and my theses that President Trump has to break from party norms in order to maintain what he got going on, okay? So the source for this next article was Forbes, and it was published in June of 2024, Forbes magazine. Y'all give me a second. Y'all check out the lake, and I'm going to move out the way while the ambulance or whoever passes by. Man, it's a beautiful day in upstate New York, bro. It always is. You hear me? It's gorgeous up here, man. I know y'all see that, man. But I'm going to keep going, though, okay? A thriving. Oh, man, look at my boy Rock Fresh with that donation. I want to see everybody in the stream right now. Y'all hit that. Y'all hit the like button on that $10 sticker, bro. It's free to show love. Show Rock Fresh some love, man. You know what I'm saying? He donated to the channel. I want to see everybody in the stream like that donation for me. Rock Fresh, my brother, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your love and your support. This is what we going to do, man. You know what I'm saying? we gonna remove you as a standard moderator, and we gonna let you be a managing moderator, man. So y'all, this Rock Fresh Stream, man. He donated to the channel. I appreciate all y'all love, man. Y'all go ahead, and if you guys want to donate, man, that button with the $ in it, y'all donate, man. Some people like hearing the truth, man. I'm giving y'all truth. No spin, no bias. I ain't no Republican. I'm not no Democrat. You understand that? I'm from Mississippi, bro. Fortunately or unfortunately, I'm from Mississippi. If you don't know nothing about Mississippi, bro, I'm from the Biloxi, the coastal counties, the coastal cities. Bro, there's probably 10 coastal cities, 10 coastal mayors. They all Republicans. I'm from an ultra red, super red state. At the same time, I'm a black man and I'm a disabled veteran. And I stand with the ACLU. So I have things that I believe in that's on the right, and I got things that I believe in that's on the left. Today we talking about economics and trickle-down economics, and unfortunately, I don't believe in trickle-down economics. I don't know if the majority of America do. You know why I say that? Before President Trump won the popular vote in 2024, ask me when the last time a Republican won a popular vote before 2024. Ask me when the last time a Republican won the popular vote since before 2024. You got to go back decades. And the reason why I say that is because trickle-down economics, I don't think the American people believe it works. It's you giving 1 million people a tax break, and you got 339 million other people who fighting for what you left on the table. You know what I'm saying? So Rock Fresh, I appreciate your support, my brother. Let's keep going with the content, okay? I want to break this down or explain this for you a little bit better. A thriving and robust stock market can impact the job market in contrasting ways, okay? I'm sorry, guys. Let me get over there. So the stock market and the job market, that's what we're talking about. The comparison between the two, or I should say the relation between the two, okay? On the positive side, a booming stock market tends to bolster investor confidence, okay? This heightened optimism can motivate businesses to increase the investments, which may include expanding their workforce by hiring additional employees. So not only is the biggest tax cut, Rock Fresh, in U.S. history, President Trump has delivered the biggest tax cut in U.S. history. We talking trickle-down economics. What Forbes is saying is that a thriving and robust stock market, which President Trump has, the best in U.S. history, can impact the job market. So not only are those tax cuts supposed to impact the job market, but a good stock market is supposed to impact the job market. So President T, you got a good stock market and you gave that tax cut. This heightened optimism can motivate businesses. Look, this all I'm saying. We supposed to be seeing a hiring boom right now. If you think about what's going on with AI, we already looked it up. 1.5 trillion. That's probably an underestimate. In my estimations, 1.5 trillion is underestimating how many nations in the world, how many businesses in the world are investing in AI right now. So with the AI boom worldwide, with AI, with those cuts to the tax cuts, with the stock market looking good, man, we supposed to be hiring out the gym right now. That's what's supposed to be happening, but it's not. A sustained, fundamentals-driven stock market lift is generally positive for job creations, promotions, and raises. And it signals economic strength and provides company with resources for expansion. When stock markets experience an upward trajectory, which they are right now, it positively impacts the wealth of individuals who hold equity investments, whether through direct stock ownership or indirect through retirement accounts, okay? I pretty much went over all of this stuff already. This accumulation of personal wealth cultivates a sense of financial well-being and confidence among these individuals, promoting them to loosen their purse strings and allocate a larger portion of their disposable income towards discretionary spending. This surge in consumer spending acts as a catalyst economic activity across various sectors. As consumer demand for goods and services escalates, businesses may respond by expanding their operations, which could potentially lead to the creation of new employment opportunities to meet the heightened demand. So we talking about the positive impacts of a robust stock market. President Trump has a robust stock market, so we're saying the relation between the stock market and the job market are closely related. Investors look at those numbers and they're looking to see where the economy is or where the economy heading, and they're deciding whether or not they want to gamble with the investments. It's just a big gamble. The negative effects of a robust stock market. A flourishing stock market, while indicative of economic prosperity, can also raise concerns about inflationary pressures. In such scenarios, the Fed may intervene by implementing measures to rein in an overheated economy, okay? One of the primary tools in the U.S. Central Bank's disposal is the adjustment of interest rates. We've been talking about this whole morning. To combat potential inflationary risks, the Fed may opt to increase interest rates. This move aims to cool down the economy by making borrowing more expensive for both consumers and businesses alike. Bro, that's just so funny. I just think if Jerome Powell ever came out and said he was going to raise interest rates, him and President Trump might end up in fisticuffs. You know what I'm saying? If you guys don't know, President Trump been on Jerome Powell so hard over those interest rates. I got one of my channel members in the stream. What's up, baby? Is that the Visa? What's up, the Visa? If you guys have not liked the video yet, make sure y'all double tap the screen for me. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, guys. This is Forbes Business. For businesses, higher interest rates translate into increased costs associated with securing loan or accessing credit lines. This financial burden can potentially hinder their ability to expand operations, invest in new projects, or hire additional personnel. Consequently, the pace of job growth may decelerate. And in some cases, companies might even resort to layoffs to maintain profitability and financial stability. Maybe that's what we're seeing right now. But that's supposed to be the effects of a negative stock market. That's not what we got, a positive stock market. So we're supposed to be seeing the exact opposite happening with the job market. A focus on short-term stock market performance can sometimes lead companies to prioritize stock buybacks and dividends over long-term investments that create jobs. A rising stock market can exacerbate wealth inequality. A rising stock market is very damaging, or can be very damaging to wealth inequality. You say, what's that mean, Ghost? What that means is that the rich are getting rich and the poor ain't getting nothing. What that means is the rich are getting richer and the poor are not getting anything. If only a small percentage of the population owns stocks, 20%, I don't know if you call that a small percent. 20% of the United States own stocks, that's not a small percent. The benefits of a boom are concentrated among the wealthy. If 20% of America owns stock, I promise you that is concentrated. That's more than just wealthy people. You see what I'm saying? About 50% of Americans have some sort of 401k, 48%. 28% are actually putting money into the stock market, okay? Why it's complex? While a bullish stock market could be positive signs for a job market, it's not a guaranteed predictor. And we see that. We saw President Trump with that bullish stock market, but the job market's not matching those numbers. A genuine economic boom with strong underlying fundamentals is more likely to lead to a sustainable job market than a speculative bubble that can eventually burst. An upswing in certain sectors might create jobs in those areas, but not necessarily lead to widespread job growth across the entire economy. Basically, what that says is, say people are investing in AI like they are right now. So basically, those AI companies, they might have a boom. They might hit the roof. That's what that means. But although those AI companies are having a boom and they're hitting the roof, what that's pretty much saying is that, you know what I'm saying, sustainable job growth, speculative bubble, that could just be investors saying, hey, we think the economy is going to go real good right now, so they dumping money in the stock market. We think it's going to go real good. We like what President Trump's saying. But all that means is they just dumping money in the stock market, but that does not mean that Americans are getting good paying jobs. That does not mean that the poor are getting the help that they need. That does not mean that Americans are satisfied with their quality of life, or they're starting to believe in the American dream again. That does not mean. This is what ghostwriters think. People under 30 years old, if you go back 20 years from when Ronald Reagan was let's go to the first President Bush. Okay, so we going to 1989. If you go back to 1989 and you ask the majority of people under 30 years old what I'm saying, excuse me, guys, what I'm saying right now is profound. Now, y'all need to listen, pay attention. If you ain't paid attention in 55 minutes, this is important. I think this is a picture of the elections. I hear podcast. I mean, look, it's a YouTuber. His name David Pagman. He a Democrat. I listened to him the other day. He talking about the Democratic messaging and organizing and all of that. I hear what you're saying, brother. But it's a lot more simpler than that. It's not that complex. You talking about messaging and all you want to talk about, it don't matter what you want to talk about, you ain't really got to do. Listen to Ghostwriter for a minute, man. You could get some knowledge. You talking about messaging, you talking about all of this. Let's say if the stock market bottomed out. Y'all remember when it hit them lows earlier this year? Let's say if it did that again and it stayed there. Let's say the price of gas in New York right now, it's about $3.19 upstate New York. Let's say it went up to $4.50. Okay? So you got the stock market in the trash can, gas in $4.50, and you got eggs back at $6. Your message don't matter. You get that? Being out organized don't matter. The voters are gonna vote against that economy. You see what I'm saying? It's almost like it don't matter who you got on the ballot. They just gonna go check a box against what's in there. You got to understand that. So we could get too complicated with this. It's not that complicated. You know, I know if you're a political pundit and you all into you missing common sense though. You got to grab common sense. You all up into the blah 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 blah. It ain't no blah 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 blah. If the economy is doing good, then the party in power is probably going to stay in power. If the economy is doing bad, especially in the midterm elections, especially look at the history of the elections. Let's do that right now. Let's do that right now. Let's say presidents that maintain power. Let's say presidents that maintain a majority during midterms. Let's see what we got. The American presidency policy. We looking for the history of a midterm election, okay? The history of it, all right? Let's look. So 1934, the president's party was Franklin D. Roosevelt. He picked up 9 House seats and picked up 9 Senate seats. That's in 1934. We could look at the politics of why 1934 he went plus plus. We could look at the politics, because I'm telling you, in 1938, he went negative 81 House seats and negative 7 Senate seats. Franklin D. Roosevelt, again, in 1942, he went negative 46 House seats and negative 9 Senate seats. Harry S. Truman, in 1946, he went negative 45 House seats and negative 12 Senate seats. In 1950, Harry Truman again went negative 29 House seats and negative 6 Senate seats. Y'all get a point? 1954, Dwight D. Eisenhower, negative 18 and negative 1. 1958, Dwight D. Eisenhower, negative 48 and negative 13. Man, John F. Kennedy Jr., one of the most popular presidents in U.S. history, he still, in his midterms, went negative 4 House seats, but he went plus 3 Senate seats. So that's only 2 presidents so far. We down to 1962 in 30 years that had positive in Senate. And they only had 1 president that picked up seats in the House. Only 1. In 30 years, first 30 years. Richard Nixon, he went negative 12 plus 2. Gerald Ford, he went negative 48, negative 5. If you guys don't know, the first negative number is the House number. We talking about the midterm elections, okay? The first negative number is the House number. The second is the Senate. Jimmy Carter, negative 15, negative 3. Let's keep going. Ronald Reagan, first term, negative 26, but he picked up a seat in the Senate, okay? Ronald Reagan's second term, you could always tell how good a president is by how many seats they losing. Because the first term, he lost 26 and picked up 1. The second term, he lost 5 in the House and then 8 in the Senate. You see what I'm saying? President George Bush, minus 8, minus 1. But that second term, he went minus 52, minus 8. The Democrats took completely over. Excuse me. That was Bill Clinton's term. Okay, let's do this again. Bill Clinton's term went negative 52 and negative 8. Okay, because George Bush only had 1 term. That's in 94. In 1998, Bill Clinton's term went plus 5 and 0 in the Senate. I've always said this. I told y'all I thought Bill Clinton, how many of y'all heard me say this? I thought that Bill Clinton was the best politician. The best politician, bro. Look at the numbers. What the American people don't agree with me. His first term, William J. Clinton in 1994 in the midterms, he lost 52 seats in the House and he lost 8 seats in the Senate. In 1998, William J. Clinton, he gained 5 seats and he didn't lose 1 seat in the Senate. And this is a president who was accused of having oral sex with a 24-year-old in the Oval Office. So imagine if he didn't have that on his jacket. I'm trying to tell y'all, Bill Clinton was one of the best, if not the best politician we ever had, boy. Y'all could take notes from President Clinton. You see what I'm saying? Let's keep going. So how about the second George Bush? So the second George Bush, he gained 8 seats. Y'all know I love him too. But President Bush in 2002 was the last Republican, one of the only presidents in the midterm saw positive growth or positive numbers. And that's what President Trump has to be aiming for. Because in 2002, in the midterms, President George W. Bush gained 8 seats in the House and 2 seats in the Senate. But you know what happened in 2006? He lost 30 seats in the House and 6 seats in the Senate. Barack Obama, golly, President Obama, in 2010, he lost 63 seats in the House of Representatives and 6 seats in the Senate. But in 2014, President Obama only lost 13 seats in the House and 9 in the Senate. It swung back his way. Donald J. Trump, in 2018, at his midterms, he lost 40 seats in the House. Listen to me. Donald J. Trump, in 2014, in his midterms, okay, he lost 40 seats in the House. But the only reason why he didn't get removed as president is because he picked up 2 in the Senate. You feel that? Because they impeached him 2 times. So if y'all don't know how impeachment works, is that Congress votes, the House of Representatives, they vote on the impeachment measure, right? And they send it to the Senate. Well, the Senate got to vote on it too for him to get impeached. It passed in the House, it couldn't pass in the Senate. And the reason why is because in the midterms in 2018, President Trump, he lost 40 seats in the House of Representatives, but picking up them 2 seats in the Senate saved him from being actually removed from office. Joseph R. Biden, President Biden went -9 in the House, and he picked up a seat in the Senate. That's what I'm trying to say. Y'all a lot of people look at President Biden like he was just such a bad president, but I don't think most of the voters think that. You know what I'm saying? So if we look at U.S. history, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So since 1934, we have had 23 midterm elections on record since 1934, okay? You got 1, 2, let me call their names so y'all know. I'm calling out the only president that picked up any seats in the House or the Senate. I'm going to call their name, okay? You got 23 midterm elections since 1934. That's 90 years, 23 elections. Let's count who picked up positive seats. Franklin D. Roosevelt, he picked up positive in the House and Senate. First term. John F. Kennedy, he picked up 3 seats in the Senate. Richard Nixon, first term, picked up 2 seats in the Senate. Ronald Reagan, first term, he picked up 1 seat in the Senate. Bill Clinton is the only president at both terms he picked up. Bill Clinton never, listen to me, this is profound because I know y'all have not heard this before. I listen to every kind of political news there is. You gonna get YouTubers, they gonna go make videos about that, I swear, man. Listen, Bill Clinton is the only president who never lost a senator. He never lost a House of Representative in 2 terms, in 2 midterms. In 1998, he picked up 5 seats in the House of Representatives, and he didn't lose 1 seat in the Senate. Okay? And, I'm sorry, in 1994, take that back. Bill Clinton is positive on his second term. He positive, 5 and 0. So that's the 4th president, okay? George Bush was 2 positives, 8 and 2. Donald Trump, he picked up 2 senators, and Joseph Biden picked up 1 senator. So that's 7 presidents in 7 elections. Y'all get it? Look, I'm going to tell y'all the source so y'all could go look this up and y'all could get this data and information for yourselves, okay? Hold on just a second. That is according to www.presidency.ucsb.edu. www.presidency.ucsb.edu. If you go look at those numbers, okay, and if I was a betting man, if you asked us to put odds on who gonna win, I just looked at the numbers. Y'all know I'm a numbers guy. If you ask Vegas to put the odds on who gonna win the House of Representatives, the Democrats gotta have 4-1 odds. If you ask Vegas, just looking at the history of 90 years, 23 midterm elections, if you ask Vegas who's going to win the House of Representatives, just looking at the history, the Democrats got 4-1 odds. If you ask about the Senate, that's a little bit different. I don't think with President Trump in his last term, how many senators did he pick up? What he picked up in his last term. So President Trump in 2018, he lost 40 House of Representatives, and he picked up 2 senators. President Biden picked up 1 senator. In the Senate, right now, the Republicans got a 4-senator lead. So if you look at the trend since 2018, it looks like President Trump might expand his lead in the Senate, if not maintain it. Democrats picking up 4 seats is very possible. It depends on how bad it gets in the Senate. But I'm saying, like President Trump's first 2 years last time, he lost 40 seats in the House and picked up 2 in the Senate. And President Biden, he only lost 9 seats in the House and he picked up 1 in the Senate. That's since 2018. So 2018 to 2026, that's 6 years. Let's go back 10 years. Let's see what the president did before. Because it looks like in the Senate, President Obama, he lost 9 and 6 seats. So since 2010, President Obama, he lost seats in the Senate and in the House. But President Trump and President Biden, they lost seats in the House but gained in the Senate. You say, Ghost, why you tell us all that? That's so important to the power. That's the power. You understand that? And President Trump, they could talk about everything they want to talk about. I hear them talking about it right now. They talk about everything you want to talk about. You could talk about Charlie Kirk. You could talk about Democrats being evil. You could talk about anything you want to talk about. I don't care. The people don't care. They could talk about Jeffrey Epstein. The people really don't care. They care. But when it comes time to go in that voting booth, you got to keep focused on what makes or drives them to either go vote or vote the way they vote. President Trump got his base. About 30 or so percent of Americans, closer to 40%, they're going to vote and stick with him regardless. The Democrats got their base. About 30 or so percent of Americans, they're going to vote or stick with the Democrats regardless. What matters is the independents like Big Ghostwriter in the middle. Listen, these independents, bro, they decide elections. And 99% of what they decide an election off of is the economy. That's why we're talking about it. Stock market, job market, inflation, and affordability. You see what I'm saying? That's why we're talking about it. To maintain power, it's going to be in the House of Representatives, it's going to be a tall order for President Trump. But in order for him to do it, he's going to have to break from party norms. Going to have to break from it. Let's get into it. We got one more news story, guys. I'm going to ask you guys one more time, or maybe a couple of more times, if you guys will like the video. If you on a cell phone, all you got to do is double tap that screen. Ozzy, I see you down there. Woody, I see you down there. I appreciate you guys participating because everyone is welcome in this stream. The only thing I ask is that you be respectful. Republicans, independents, and Democrats alike, everyone, Americans, jump down in the comments and let your voices be heard. But one last thing, we do got to pay the bills, and I don't have any sponsors yet. I'm not in the studio yet. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm not taking no money from no political party or anything like that yet. So if you guys want to donate to the channel, Super chats, super stickers, and super thanks start at 99 cents. Like my boy Rock Fresh been donating to Big Ghostwriter and Legal Wars Live. If you want to start a conversation or if you want to have your comment read, hit that button with the $ in it, and your donations are much appreciated. So the source for this news article is Reuters, and it was published yesterday on 9/25, okay? Before we start and get into it, on this next segment, we're going to be talking about the job market and the economy, okay? We started off with the live stream, okay? I told y'all about the stock market. Then on the last segment, we went over the effects of the stock market in relation to the job market, okay? And this last segment, we're talking about the job market. The reason why I say the job market for the last segment, because this is what's going to determine who's going to take power in 2026. Look, the Democrats, if y'all don't remember, and I'm going to go over it, what happened from 2018 to 2020 when they finally took power. When President Trump got elected last time, it was the same time like this time. It was a red wave. He had the House, he had Senate, and he had the White House. Okay? Of course. So it's same thing repeated itself. He got the House, Senate, and the White House. So his midterms, the voters will be giving him a referendum in November of 2026. So all this information I give you will let us know on Legal Wars Live, we're going to have a good idea about these House races, the feel of in America. We're going to have a great idea about it, man, because of the economy. That's what the voters vote on. If y'all get caught up in Jeffrey Epstein, I promise you, ain't one congressperson or one senator is going to lose a seat over Jeffrey Epstein. I doubt it seriously. Even if that was on the Epstein list. I mean, maybe so because it's a child, but I'm saying you got a president who 49 years old, with a 24-year-old in the Oval Office. I'm not hating on Bill Clinton. I told you Bill Clinton was the best politician of our time. It's written. The numbers, factual. You know what I'm saying? But this is what I'm saying. Even though when the American voters went to, let's look at his numbers. Let's look at his numbers. Re-election. We're going to type in real simple. Bill Clinton re-election. Bill Clinton re-election. He's a perfect example that what the voters care about. Anytime you want to know what the voters care about, all you got to do is go look at Bill Clinton. Because the presidential elections were held in the United States on November 15th or 1996. You got an incumbent Democratic president, Bill Clinton, and his running mate, which was incumbent, of course, Democratic Vice President Al Gore. They were re-elected to a second term. This is amongst allegations. This is amongst allegations of a young 50-year-old president, 49-year-old president, having relations with a woman who was 24 years old in the Oval Office. And then he lied about it. Man, you know the Republicans, this is in the 90s too, you know the Republicans, they knew they had Bill Clinton. He ain't no good. You feel what I'm saying? He a bad dude. And they going out to the voters, he cheating on his wife, he doing this, he with a woman 30 years younger than him in the Oval Office, he is very immoral. That's what they saying about him at the time. But you know what happened? Clinton and Vice President Gore were renominated without an incident from the Democratic Party. No challenges. No challenges. Y'all listen to me. Clinton's chances of winning were initially considered slim in the middle of his term, as his party had lost both the House of Representatives and the Senate in 1994 for the first time in decades. He was able to regain ground. How was he able to regain ground as the economy began to recover from the early 1990s recession? It's the economy, stupid. Clinton tied Dole to Newt Gingrich, the arch-conservative Republican Speaker of the House, and expressed concern that Republicans would increase the deficit and slash spending on programs like Social Security and Medicaid, bro. All you gotta do is research your history. It's a constant circle. A constant circle. How Bill Clinton win, y'all? What he did, he said, hey, look, President Trump, y'all people making less than $50,000 a year, y'all left the Democratic Party and y'all went to the Republican Party. Ghost, why they do that? Because the Democrats, they forgot their first love. Your first love is you supposed to be helping the people. That's what your first love is supposed to be, right? They forgot that. Their whole party went into prosecuting President Trump. That's their cohesive message, was prosecuting President Trump. They forgot what their first love was. But what I'm saying is you need to go back to what look, y'all thought y'all voters making less than $50,000 a year, y'all thought he came here to help you. But what that man has done is he has slashed SNAP, he has slashed Medicare, and he has slashed Medicaid. You know what happened on election day? Clinton defeated Dole by a wide margin. A wide margin. Winning 379 electoral votes to 159. And y'all want to talk about a blowout in an election? We hadn't seen this in a long time. You know what a blowout in an election is? President Clinton, he got 50% of the vote, 49.2% of the national popular vote compared to Dole's 50%. He beat him by 10 points. And the only reason he didn't beat him by more is because of Ross Perot, which his strong candidacy kept both candidates below 50%. You see what I'm saying? You got to talk about or care about or focus about on the things that the American voters care about. The American voters, they don't care about all this stuff people be talking about, Jeffrey Epstein and all that stuff. They're not going to vote on Jeffrey Epstein. If that economy is good, you can almost have a convicted felon in the White House. Y'all listening? If that economy is good, you can almost have a convicted felon in the White House. The people, it's not that they don't care. They see him doing his job and they're going to support him in his job. They care about what the people care about. Y'all support Legal Wars Live. Ozzy, you in here all the time. I'm sure you know what the people care about. What do they care about? They care about their children's futures. The people care about their 401ks. The people care about having access to the American dream, affordability. That's what they vote on. Whether or not they could get a good job or not. That's what they gonna vote on, man. I'm telling you. Y'all don't focus on that Jeffrey Epstein. That's not where the voters at. All of America, the conversation could be on Jeffrey Epstein, but the voters ain't voting on Jeffrey Epstein, I promise you. And Bill Clinton is the proof of that. Guys, if y'all have not liked the video, make sure y'all, if you on a cell phone, all you got to do is just double tap your screen, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell, guys. We've been streaming for about an hour and 20 minutes. I told y'all I got one more story for you. We're going to go over the job numbers, guys. But in the meantime, I'm going to bump out the way, guys. And I'm going to let y'all enjoy this gorgeous view out here on the Appalachian Mountains in upstate New York. Man, it's so beautiful out here on one of the Finger Lakes. The Empire State, stand up one time for NY, baby. You hear me? Make sure y'all like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I appreciate you guys' support. Man, oh man, oh man, what we got going on down here in the stream? Ozzy says it's called gerrymandering. Gerrymandering. I guess he talking about redrawing districts. He said, when RS do it, then it's called redistricting. When Democrats do it, who gerrymanders more? That's a good question, Ozzy. But me personally, I think it's cheap. When were they supposed? Let's look up. Look, guys. This is what we're gonna do. Okay, y'all, give me just a second. Redistricting. I do this from time to time during the chat. You guys put your comments in there, and we'll talk about it. Let's look up redistricting in the United States. That's what Ozzy's talking about. Redistricting is a process of drawing electoral district boundaries. So basically, Ozzy, what they're doing, we getting back to that last story real quick. I'm gonna do this real quick. Ozzy, basically what they're doing is they're actually drawing a map, a circle of a district where voters vote, okay? For the United States House of Representatives and state legislators, redistricting occurs after each 10-year census. So it's a necessary process, and the process is because of the census. You know what I'm saying? If you get more voters in districts and stuff like that, it's a necessary process, but they use that process to start cheating. So Ozzy, I appreciate that, man. Guys, let's go ahead and get into this last story, man. We've been streaming for about an hour and a half. I'm gonna try to power through this, okay? So guys, the new number, this is so important. So important. Because this is what people voting on. You know what I'm saying? The new number of Americans filing new applications for unemployment benefits failed last week. But the labor market has lost its luster amid an anemic pace of hiring. Basically, what they said is that, hey, the job numbers fell, but the labor market isn't robust like it was before, because the pace of hiring has slowed tremendously. What's going on, Big President T? We got to fix that, man. I'm telling you, if people going out there and they cannot find jobs, when they go vote, bro, you going to tell the difference. You see what I'm saying? If I'm going out there and I'm looking for a job, okay, so the last administration, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to find a job, I'm getting a job, but I can't get ahead financially. You know what I'm saying? The stock market just doing regular things. So we say, hey, you know what I'm saying? America isn't doing that bad, but it's not doing as good as we want it to do. So we want to change. So we're going to give Big President T a change. So Big President T get elected, and here we are in 2026. It's time for the voters to go in there, and the voters going to tell you what they think about what he's done so far. And what I'm saying is that job market, if them numbers are saying that, what that's telling me is that people are not able to get jobs as they want to or as they're looking for. That's big. Because I'm saying that's going to change how you vote, especially if President Trump, too, who's a very popular Republican. People forget in the midterms, his name ain't on no ballot. President Trump's name ain't on no ballot, so them Republicans going to have to stand on all 10 by themselves on President Trump's policies. And they're not going to be, the voters are not going to, a Republican voter, any voters. Listen, for President Trump, a Republican voter, they probably again, and they're going to turn out and they're going to show up and they're going to show out. What about for the Republican in your district? If the economy bad, if you had cuts to Medicaid and Medicare and TANF, and the stock market ain't doing as good, and the job market ain't doing as good. So when they go vote for that Republican in your district, you know what's going to matter? It's going to matter about that individual candidate. You ain't got no celebrity President Trump on your ballot in 2026. All you going to have is that Republican in your district against a Democrat who going to be saying, hey, you know what he promised? He promised to end the two wars. Is there an end of two wars? This is what the Democrats going to be saying. He promised inflation was going to drop dramatically. Prices dropping on the first day. Have they dropped that much? He promised job. That's what that Democrat going to be saying. You see what I'm saying? And President Trump ain't on the ballot. It's going to be that Republican against that Democratic message. If that economy is not good, I'm telling you, I predicted 4-1 the Democrats taking back over. And when they take back over, that's why President Trump, he got a break from party norms. He got a break from it. Initial claims for state unemployment benefits dropped 14,000. That's good. To a seasonally adjusted 218,000 for the week ending September 20, the Labor Department, said on Thursday. Economists polled by Reuters had forecasted 235,000 claims. So President Trump is outperforming the job claims by 17,000 jobs. Great job. Though businesses are hoarding workers, they have remained reluctant to increase headcount as they navigate uncertainty wrought by a protectionist trade policy, which boosts the nation's average tariff. I don't care what y'all saying about the tariffs. I don't care what you're saying about the tariffs. How the Democrats sound complaining about tariffs is how Republicans sound complaining about Obamacare or about health insurance. Bro, I'm telling you, I'm 45 years old, right? So I started watching politics around the time of President Clinton. I kind of remember the first Bush, but not really. President Clinton, in his first term, he tried to pass health care. You know what happened? In his second term, his wife, Hillary Clinton, took it over, and she tried to get health care passed. Nothing, didn't happen. You know who came after him? President Bush tried to get health care passed. It didn't happen. The whole time when the Democrats and Republicans have been fighting over health care for 2 decades. I remember since President Clinton, they were trying to pass a comprehensive health care package, and they argued over it for 2 decades. And in 2 decades, President Obama and them finally gave America a package, and the Republicans, like VP Harris said, the only thing I've heard from a Republican on health care is a concept of plan. That's all I heard from the Republicans. Have you guys ever heard the Republicans give you a comprehensive health care plan to get rid of Obamacare? No, because they've had power to do that plenty of times, but it wasn't popular with the Americans. What I'm saying is how the Democrats are on, or how the Republicans are on health care, is how the Democrats are on the tariffs. You have a deficit. You need to increase the revenue. You don't need to borrow more money. You need to increase the revenue. You understand that? If I have a deficit and say I'm not getting enough money, I'm saying what I'm going to do. I got 2 credit cards now. Y'all remember I only had 1. And I said you ain't getting enough money. You got to go get the money. But I'm saying instead of getting the money, you borrow more money. 36 trillion, 37 trillion, 38 trillion. President Trump, with them tariffs, he has given America an opportunity to make brand new revenue, not borrowed money, brand new revenue. If you complaining about a tariff, then you got a $38 trillion deficit. I think they said that's like 100,000 per head. So if you're a married man and you got 2 kids, the deficit on your family, the American deficit is 400,000. How you gonna pay that 400,000? You're part of that deficit. You can't do that. We can't ask the American people to pay it. We can't cut Social Security. We can't cut Medicaid. We can't cut Medicare. You got to get more money from somewhere as the American government. So what the American government has done is with taxes. How else can the government get money? They're going to start selling Jordans. President Trump, the U.S. government going to start selling Trump shoes and Trump Bibles. How American government going to get money? Because you're going to see it in the midterms next year for them cuts to Medicare and Medicaid. It's a price that's going to be paid. Ghostwriter told you that. If the voters see any cuts to that Medicaid, that Medicare, and that TANF, the Republicans are going to pay a price in the polls, period. You can't cut Medicare and Medicaid. That's like your car note and your insurance. You can't cut it. You can't cut Social Security. You can't cut defense spending. You can't cut nothing we have. Those are like your major bills. But you have a deficit, so what you gonna do? Tariff revenue. Let the Democrats come up with a plan for the deficit, like the Republicans need to come up with a plan for health care. The Republicans are so against health care, but they hadn't came up with one plan to replace Obamacare. The Democrats are so against tariffs, but they haven't came up with one plan to increase the revenue to help the deficit in the budget spending. That's my place on tariffs, man. The lackluster demand for workers has eroded the labor market's resilience, prompting the Federal Reserve to resume cutting interest rates last week. Okay? Immigration crackdown has also cut labor supply, contributing to holding back job growth. So according to Reuters, they're saying what I said, that the immigration crackdown is what's hurting the job market. You hear that, President Trump? Scott B. and President Trump, they promised an age of economic prosperity for America. That was the promise. They made the moves. I don't agree with trickle-down economics, but the Republicans do, but I don't agree with it, but that's the move they made. According to them, if I cut taxes with that $200,000 extra dollars a year, what those businesses are going to do, they're going to hire more workers and they're going to expand their business, and that's how you get growth. According to them, that's not what has happened so far. He had less jobs than President Biden was doing. According to them, if you cut taxes, you see what I'm saying? According to them, that's not how it's turning out, though. That's why I'm saying, President Trump, you're going to have to break from your party norms. Because your job growth is supposed to be booming. It's not booming. What's going on? Reuters saying the immigration cut down. It's cut labor supply. It's not just, if I go snatch an immigrant from a $6 or $7.50 an hour job, somebody got to replace that immigrant in that job. It's not just that. What they say in that whole situation with immigration. So basically what they're saying is the American voters in this situation, they might listen to me. This is it now. Listen to me. The American voters, a plurality of them, might support immigration and President Trump's immigration plan, but the American businesses, they don't like it. Y'all get that? They say the American businesses, they don't like it. They don't like that immigration plan. And it's messing up the hiring. It's messing up the job reports. Non-farm payroll gains averaged only $29,000 per month in the 3 months to August compared to 82,000 during the same period last year. That's what I'm saying about President Biden. 82,000 jobs per month in May, June, and July of 2024. President Trump takes over and we compare the numbers. May, June, and July of 2025, non-farm payrolls, that means the jobs that aren't farmers, he only had 29,000, about 30,000. President Trump, President Biden, you said he the worst president ever. You a business president, you a money president. He beating you by 50,000 jobs a month. $50,000 jobs a month. I'm saying you got to make that economic policy work. And the only way you're going to be able to do it, you're going to have to break from your party norms. You're going to have to do some of them things different. President Trump, you done already appeased the Republicans. You gave them the biggest tax break in U.S. history. President Trump, come help the people, big dog. President Trump, come help the people, big dog. Come help them voters, your food stamp voters. How many people voted for President Trump on food stamps? Hey, bro, I'm so immature and childish. That's the most childish thing, bro. I don't care. I'm a disabled veteran. You know what I'm saying? People need that food stamp. How many people, listen, how many people voted for President Trump receive food stamps? If these people voted for President Trump, you would expect them in the midterms to vote Republicans, right? That's why President Trump said for the first time ever, or the first time in my lifetime, they want to have a midterm, or they want to have, a convention for the midterm election, okay? August counties with largest increases in food stamps went for Trump. The counties with the largest increase in food stamps, they went Republican. This was published on August the 2nd of 2024. That was in almost every 4 in every 5 U.S. counties have seen an increase in the percentage of households receiving food stamps since 2010. Are in the places that voted for President Trump in 2020. President Trump, these your voters. It's showing all the counties that voted for you. Too many to go over. They call them the food stamp voters. These the voters that voted for President Obama. President Trump and them, the Republicans, they're not used to having poor people with them. Their policies, not extremely poor people, their policies benefit businesses and billionaires. President Trump and them gave that $200,000 tax cut, they gave that to the rich people. But what I'm saying, President Trump, with them policies that you have, President Biden beating you by 50,000 jobs a month over the last 3 months. 50,000 a month. And you the business president, you got the largest tax cut, you got all the Republican policies in place that you want, you got your rate cut, you got everything that you asked for and you want it. But I'm saying that job growth is not there. I'm not hating on President Trump. I think he's doing a pretty good job so far. But what I'm saying is that thing he got going on, his little formula, his little pot thing, what I'm saying is I think he gonna have to tweak it. The central bank last week cut its benchmark overnight interest rate by 25 base points to the 4% negative 4.25 to the 4% 4.25% range. The Fed paused this policy erasing cycle in January because of uncertainty over the inflationary impact of President Donald Trump's broad impact on import tariffs. The number of people receiving benefits after initial week of aid, a proxy for hiring, slipped 2,000 to a seasonally adjusted 1.926 million during the week ending September 3rd, the claims report showed. The elevation in so-called continuing claims is consistent with more out-of-work people exercising long buyouts of unemployment. How many of y'all think that most of this is due to President Trump's cut in government jobs? How many of y'all think that? You know the Republicans, and the Democrats, they gonna try to like make it be or form the argument in their favor. Is what I'm saying. They all gonna try that. But how many do you think is because of the out-of-work jobs? Listen, the average duration of unemployment rose to 24.5 weeks in August, the longest since April 22, from 24.1% in July. Man, that's not good. Those are underlying numbers that we look for on the economy. The so-called continuing claims cover the period during which the government surveyed household for September's unemployment rate. The jobless rate increased to nearly a 4-year high to 4.3% in August. A 4-year high. Who was president 4 years ago? President Trump, to maintain those record numbers on the stock market. You're going to have to break with the Republicans on some of your party norms. That's what Ronald Reagan did. That's what all the great ones do. You know what I'm saying? Gonna have to. Guys, I ask that you guys will like the video, subscribe to the channel, make sure y'all hit that notification bell. Also, guys, everyone is welcome in this stream, okay? Republicans, independents, and Democrats alike, jump down in the comments and let your voices be heard. One last thing, we got to pay the bills. I see my boy Rock Fresh. He has been donating. I don't have no sponsors. I'm not taking money from no party. I don't have a studio yet. I ask you guys super chat, super thanks. Super thanks and super stickers start at 99 cents. If you guys want to donate to the channel, have your comments read, please hit that button with the $ in it, and your donations are much appreciated. Guys, at this point, what I got written in my notes is that at this point, I would go deeper into my argument against trickle-down economics, but we've been streaming for about 1 hour and 45 minutes. So I'm going to tell you how we finna do this. I'm finna hop out the way one last time. You know, with Legal Wars Live and with the We the People tour, it's as much about the scenery and the lakes and the mountains. You know what I'm saying? This is an outdoors tour. It's as much about that as it is about the great political analysis and news that I try to bring you guys. Okay? So let me get out the way. And all my nature lovers who jump into the stream or who will watch it after it was pre-recorded, you know what I'm saying, or recorded, excuse me, I'm going to get out the way and let them enjoy the scenery. Man, it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful out here, guys. We in upstate New York, the Empire State, man. I got mad love for the state of New York, man. You see what I'm saying? Beautiful out here, man. Upstate New York. You know what I'm saying? We gonna touch New York City. You feel me? Do what we gotta do, man. You know? Guys, I'm gonna address some things or talk about some things for just a second. You guys could get down in the comments if y'all got some questions, or if y'all want have any conversation or discussion right now. We could do it right now. 1 hour and 45 minutes, man. I delivered the political content. You know what I'm saying? The people that need to get what they need to get out of the discussion or the conversation on the politics, I gave them to them. You know what I'm saying, guys? I've been out here, like I said, for about 74 days. It's a choice. We all make choices. You see what I'm saying? What I choose to do is I choose to fight for justice. I choose to stand 10 on justice. That's not something that, like, I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's a calling almost that I stand 10 on justice. That's what I feel. I feel like it's a calling that I stand 10 on justice. That's what I'm doing. That's why I'm out here, man. You know what I'm saying? 73 days, man, I'm traveling state to state, bringing political content, great political content, talking to the voters. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, I got 3 lawsuits open right now in litigation and I'm litigating it. And I'm finna file number 4, and I'm looking for number 5, and I'm looking for number 6, and I'm looking for number 7. And this ain't gonna stop. It's not gonna stop, man. Point blank, period. That's what I'm on, man. You know? So y'all need to understand that. I don't care about the words of no person. I don't care what I'm going through or gotta go through. This is what it is. I'm a justice fighter. I'm a fight for justice, and I'm gonna continue to file lawsuits. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna stay on the road forever. I'm not gonna travel forever. I'm gonna continue to bring you guys great political analysis and news. You know what I'm saying? But until that time, this is what it is. Rock Fresh, he says he's in Cheektowaga, New York for work. Man, oh man. So he up here in upstate New York too. Rock Fresh, I appreciate you, my brother. Your donations, your contributions. You know what I'm saying? Is that Jim Apelli says that AI is taking all the jobs? Not yet. Not all of them, but they will. And that's something President Trump has to be aware of. The American leaders have to be aware of that. That AI will take jobs. Excuse me. And the unemployment will grow dramatically once the AI is in place. You're going to have people investing in AI, getting really rich, and you're going to have regular people not being able to find jobs. You see AI performing right now. If you go to fast food sometimes, AI is who taking your order now. So once some business figure out, I could invest 2, 3, 4, 500,000 in AI on this job, and I don't have to hire any more workers. I don't have to worry about firing them. The AI is going to perform, not going to talk back, don't need no lunch breaks, don't need no cigarette breaks, ain't going to sue me. Them business owners, yeah, they going to use that AI. Like in Walmart, you could call it AI, you could call it machine learning, it's all the same thing. But think about it, okay? 40 years ago, would you ever thought that a machine can cash you and check you out without a human being? So they come up with humanoids, androids, and they put that AI in them, and they come in your job and start working your job. Them low-paying jobs, yeah, that unemployment rate gonna hit the roof when that AI. You got to come up with a way to combat that. You know what I'm saying? A way, Rock Fresh, I say to combat that. People are talking about a monthly stipend. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Giving people $1,500 a month, bro. You talk. I mean, I don't really want to talk about it too much, Jim Apelli, because most people don't understand it. But a candidate like Mandami, in a situation where AI is dominant in the world, a candidate like Mandami, he gonna be talking the message that people want to hear. So yeah, in the next 10 years, if AI do what they said it's gonna do, the world's gonna look completely different. Facts. I think that's a great comment. Frontier Dennis says, if you were going to fight for justice, get rid of Donald Trump. He's the worst, man. I've heard that from several people. If you guys don't know Ghostwriter, man, I was in the gas station earlier. I'm a very political person. I'm a patriot. I love my nation. I heard this man talking about the differences in people, and I started addressing it. And when I was talking about the differences in people, he was talking about how President Trump is going against the Constitution. So that's the feel of a lot of Americans. You know, this is New York, so he's probably a Democrat. You know what I'm saying? President Trump ain't going to give it much credence. But I'm saying it's a hard sell when you have the opposition party saying that you are violating the U.S. Constitution. That's the very document for which holds everything together. And the Dems are saying President Trump is in violation of it. You know what I'm saying? That's those political battles, man. Let me see what my boy Rock said. Way Rock Fresh says he's talking to Fortier. You are outbursts, making you seem childish and immature. Yes, indeed. He said that Fortier Dennis makes him look childish and immature. The outburst. I hope he don't have a disability. You know what I'm saying, y'all? He might have a disability. I hope you don't have one. You know what I'm saying? So for tier, if you don't have any emotional or behavior disabilities, Rock is telling you that your outbursts like that is making you look childish and immature. My name is Gopender. Frontier says, thanks for Donald Trump. I don't know what you mean by that, sir. Y'all just try to remember all that I am telling you. Wait and see. Man, we'll have to see then. We'll have to see, man. What are you telling us for tier? Are you saying that the U.S. economy is going to do bad? Are you saying that President Trump is doing bad? I'm trying to figure out what you're telling us. You just you don't support President Trump. I'm trying to figure it out. Let me know what you're trying to say. You know what I'm saying? Rock Fresh, do you got any comments on the content? If any of you guys got any comments, anything y'all want to say, y'all put it in the stream right now and I'll read it. Go Pender, what you trying to say? Tell me what you trying to say, my boy, so I could say. Y'all get them comments down below, man. I'm going to give y'all a second to look at the lake. When I come back, I'm going to read all the comments that are about the content. So y'all go ahead and say what y'all trying to say down below. Y'all just put what you think about the economy, about President Trump, about anything. Let your voice be heard. And when I come back, y'all, I'm going to read them. Y'all give me about 2 or 3 minutes, and y'all continue the conversations amongst yourselves. Please, I'll join y'all in just a second. Man, I just want to say, man, look, the devil full of tricks, bro. The devil full of tricks, man. I just want to say he could try whatever he want to try. You just going to get sued again. You feel me? I hear people saying everything they can to try to stop me or come against me, but they just get sued. You see what I'm saying? Like if a bank closed an account, they going to get sued. I could promise you that. And for every loss, like if I got a business and I'm litigating a case and you close an account, while I'm litigating, and that costs me anything in that case, I'm still gonna get that case now. I could wait a month or two, whatever, till the account back open, and we could fix that. That's gonna get fixed. But you know what's gonna happen? That bank gonna get that lawsuit, and everything that lost with that lawsuit is gonna get that lawsuit. You're not gonna do nothing to me. In the end, you're gonna pay a heavy price, because them cases gotta come to an end. And every time I sue somebody, they get served. So you cannot listen to me if you want to, but that bank closed that lawsuit. If that bank closed, bro, you're gonna get sued for at least $100,000 minimum. That's all the other lawsuits too. So if I don't serve into one of them lawsuits one time or two times or whatever the case might be, I don't care about that. Because of the situation, I'm going to deal with that. Them cases going to still get litigated. I don't care what you say. We could just do it again. Well, I keep doing it. I'm going to keep suing you. I'm going to keep getting on your head, but you just going to have 6 lawsuits this time instead of 3. So you could take the 3 lawsuits and pay what you got to pay, or you could try to pull a trick and get 6 of them. But what my opponents don't understand, they live for the moment. I ain't trying to win the moment. I'm trying to win the battle. So you trying to win a moment. Oh, I'm going to try to stop him. I'm going to try to take his money. I'm going to try to. And every attempt, you going to get mollywopped. Every attempt. You doing that bank doing that with, what's going to happen? That hospital bill probably going to be about $40,000. You times that by 3 or 4. $40,000, $120,000 for closing an account that didn't accomplish anything. The case is still getting filed. They still getting litigated. It just gave me another case, and I'm gonna go and pop off on number 4. I'm a justice fighter, bruh. If I sue you, you could pay a little or you could pay a lot. You ain't getting out of it. I don't care what you do. They didn't try everything against me, bro. Look how I'm living right now. If you don't know, then you don't know. And if you know, you know. It ain't changed nothing. It just made my resolve stronger. It just makes me madder. It makes me more infuriated to do what I got to do to achieve justice. That fight for justice, bro, it's not going to stop. You can't stop it. I don't care what you do, you're not going to stop it. You just going to get more. If I sue you and you only got to pay $20,000, $30,000, if you pull a trick, that lawsuit ain't going nowhere. You're not getting rid of none of the cases. You can't get rid of that case. If that judge get rid of that case for a reason that's not in the interest of justice, it's coming right back. If you trying to get out of having to litigate that case, because you know in one of them cases, my opponents know they finna get mollywopped, and all of them really, but one of them especially. If you try to get out of it in any way that's not on the merits or the interest of justice, and you using a third party to try to pull a trick, I'm gonna try to destroy that third party. And that second case, you gotta finish that case. You can't not finish the case. It's if the facts never been litigated for something stupid, you just keeping it alive longer. That ain't gonna change nothing. You just getting another lawsuit. You got more problems now. You didn't get less problems. You didn't accomplish nothing. You got a temporary reprieve, and now you got to pay 5 times more. That's how ghostwriter get down, bro. I'm a litigator like they never seen before. I never was trained by an attorney. I was trained by God. You feel me? I was never got a law license, bro. I self-taught. And I don't play no games with nobody, bro. I could promise you that. I put that on the blood of Jesus, bro. I'm telling you, I'm in my mind right now. Every lawsuit I could file right now, I'm getting right back on it. Back in October, we're going to spin the block and we're going to file about 10 more before the end of this year. So in October, I'm looking at 3 new cases to file. I always hold a case. I got a case I've been holding. Guaranteed money. I'm holding it. And I'm waiting for you to give me some more. Anybody do anything to me at all, you going to get sued. I promise on everything I love. I don't care if you don't care. They gonna be crying, man. They gonna be crying. Ghostwriter ain't playing with you, bruh. You know what I'm saying? You want to be corrupt? and trying to act like you helping somebody by being corrupt. You want to be corrupt and harass a disabled veteran while and being corrupt and saying you helping them while you doing some foul and shady stuff. Nah, bruh, you gonna get sued on repeat. What Rock Fresh said, hustle season. Ain't nobody playing with you. You try to touch anything of mine, you gonna get that bang mollywopped. I'm talking about you gonna get them mollywopped. I don't care, bro. My opponents, everything they do, they always think they know the right thing, and they got me, and they lose every time. They lose every time. And before I even get into, I just started touching the litigation on one of them cases. That federal litigation finna start next month. You gonna lose. I'm telling them they finna lose. They know they gonna lose. That's why they trying to cheat. Why you gotta be corrupt and try to pull a trick and defamation and all the stuff that my legal opponents got going on, attacking my Christianity? Bro, you know people attack my Christianity, bro. You know somebody told me that if you homeless, you ain't gonna go to heaven. What if you choose to be homeless? Then that mean you choosing to go to hell. I'm talking about people crazy in their head, bro. Not no mental disability. You know, I don't make fun of people with disabilities. I got one. I protect them. But I'm saying Rock Fresh, they literally loony bins. You gonna go to hell for smoking a cigarette. Some people believe you'll go to hell for taking a Tylenol. But they liars. They're corrupt people. They're everything wrong with them. Everything you could think of is wrong with them. But they could find one problem in you. That you a murderer. And you gonna talk about a dude who's saying a cuss word. And you a murderer. Listen, and then the dude saying the cuss word, he only cussing because the people harassing him. You send people to harass somebody, say he knock him out, and then you saying he ain't a Christian because he defended himself. This dude gotta be a loony bin, bro. What's wrong with him, man? That being said, man, we out here, man. Big New York, upstate New York, baby. You do whatever you want to me. Just know it's gonna be a payday. Ghostwriter, do not play. You get mad about having to pay $30,000, I'm gonna make you pay $90,000. This is my third year, bro. I'm not no rookie paralegal, bro. I'm not playing no games with nobody. I don't care what you do or what you say. My resolve will not stop. I will sue you on repeat. Within 2 years, you know what's going to happen? My opponent's going to be crying. They're going to be crying, constantly chasing something they can never achieve. Constant. Against me, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Against me. And you're not gonna be successful. In no way. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just sue the bank. That's what's gonna happen. Sue the snot out of them. You say 34, that's not no leech, Mega. I gotta work for that money. I'm filing documents for that money. Stop messing with me. They're not that smart. You know what I'm saying? They from my home state. And in my home state, check the literacy rate. In my home state, check the poverty rate. In Mississippi, the literacy rate. You go to a different state where the average citizen has more education than they do in Mississippi, and they don't do stupid stuff like that. If they do it on purpose, bro. Like I'm telling you, I'm going to sue you and you're going to lose. You can't see the end. You could win a moment. What's the sense? Okay, look, you got 10 battles in the war. I'll give you 3 battles. What's your 3 battles if you lose the whole war? Oh, I won 3 battles, man. I stayed alive in the game. It's like they bigger, stronger, and everything than me, and they doing stuff that desperate people do. You know what I'm saying? You know, like a desperate football team keep throwing Hail Marys. You a 50-point favorite and you throwing Hail Marys, losing by 20 points. My opponent's losing to me in cases 2-7. In 9 cases, bro, they won 2 times, and they only won them 2 because they got lucky. Somebody didn't go to a hearing and an appeal I had a clear victory on. I just let them make it because I got paid. They throwing Hail Marys. committing corruption. My opponents doing everything they can to try to win. And they already know in the end, they already lost. They know they lost. You know what I'm saying? You a Super Bowl team and you playing a scrub and you got beat 2-7 and they throwing Hail Marys, bro. They praying. They putting prayers in the air, thinking it's going to work. And every prayer they put in the air is a lawsuit. And they not smart enough to get it. You know what I'm saying? If I was in your situation, a man getting $1,235 a month, I'll make him have to struggle for that. I wouldn't give him nothing. Why would I give him a case? And you trying to keep them down. You just picking them up by trying to stop them. You lifting them up. You saying God with you, and you represent God. And while you trying to stop them, represent God, you picking them up. How that makes sense? Where that's at? Good God, I'm saying God. If God wanted them down, He would be down and can't get up. If God wanted somebody down, He gonna be down and can't get up. Do you understand? You talking about God? God is all of creation. You talking about galaxies and universes we can't even see. That's all of that is God. So you saying an entity that powerful, He wants somebody down? You talking about an entity or a being that created Mars and Jupiter? He wants somebody down. And you come as a soldier. Say you're an American soldier and America wants them down. You come as a chief general, represent God, trying to keep this dude down. And every attempt you keep him down, you picking him up. God ain't with you, bro. All my opponents, I'm letting you know, boy. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't that smart. Somebody getting $1,235, make them struggle. Let them get it out the mud. You're going to keep getting credit cards. He going to keep making loans. And eventually, that $1,235, he'll just collapse on his own. But I'm saying you doing stupid stuff like you saying I'm going to stop him from $1,235 for that lawsuit. You're not going to stop that lawsuit. If you pull that move, the bank going to pay for that move you pull. And at the same time, that lawsuit in the interest of justice, I'm saying if it's because a document didn't get served, I'm saying he could file a lawsuit again in 15 minutes. And you in the same problem that you was in before, but now you got two lawsuits. They stupid. They can't add and subtract. So they just giving me money, hand me money. Every time they hand me a case, I say thank you. Every time you make an attempt, a lot of times I'll let you make it. A lot of times I let my opponents make it. I'm just telling you, we in the season, the hunt for Red October. That's what I call it, bro. Whenever I file more than one lawsuit in a month, I say we starting to get bloody, legally. The hunt for Red October, I'm going to let you know, boy. That mentality I got on, I'm looking for that bee sting. Who going to get stung? Who going to get stung? Unfair banking practices. Unfair banking practices in federal court. Who want to get stung? Who want to get stung? You could take $5 from me. You could take $10 from me. You could take $15 from me. I don't feel like doing the paperwork for something stupid like that. You talking about you taking something that'll cause me with my business and the case and all of that. The hospital bills are $30,000, $40,000. I'm in New York. Them hospital, you can imagine how expensive. I can imagine how expensive a stay in the hospital is in New York. Everything more expensive up here. Everything. Stuff that costs $1 in Mississippi is $1.50 here. So you can imagine what a 2 or 3 week hospital stay, how much that bill might be. $60,000. You times that by 4. Ooh, that's $240,000 for something stupid. And I didn't lose that case. That case still open. Or it could get closed or whatever with that case with my business. Guess what's going to happen? I'm putting that in that lawsuit. That's going to be another $20,000, $30,000. You can't win. You just got to, or if you can win, you got to play the game different. You coming at me or attacking me, just giving me cases, what's going to end up happening is them cases all going to conclude at once. And they did that before. And I got like $30,000, but that $30,000 finna turn to $60,000 or $80,000. That's what's going to happen to you. My opponents are going to make me a millionaire. The people, listen to me. He's saying God with him. He's saying God sent him. And my opponent, he's saying I'm not even a Christian. And everything he doing, trying to stop me, God is using that to bless me. Or who blessing me? I'm saying who's supreme? He's saying he represent God, and he lost 2-7. He lost 7-2, and he represent God. How many wars or battles God lost? How many wars or battles God lost? He's 7-2, and he got lucky on his 2 wins, and he's saying he with God. And everything he doing trying to stop me is picking me up. So the devil is the devil outsmarting God. That's basically what he's saying. The devil outsmarting God, y'all. That's what he's saying. Nah, partner, corruption is not of God. I don't care what kind of excuse you got, you can't make that right. Defamation of character. God called it reveling. He said you want to inherit the kingdom of God. He's serious about that. That is not a God. All that stuff they doing is murder, bro, is not of God. There's no holy murder. You sound like the Taliban, bro. I'm talking about these dudes out here, bro. They messed up in their head, boy. I'm going to put you on blast. I'm going to put you on blast, boy. I'll mess around and sue you and your organization. I said I wouldn't, but that might change. I'm saying, bro, I wouldn't, like, you could keep on if you want to. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. You could lie to these people in New York, but they don't believe like you. I promise you, nothing like you. I'm talking about dude is like, he 30 times more further right than President Trump. President Trump wouldn't do half the stuff he would do. I'm talking about 30 times more right than President Trump. President Trump don't halfway believe that stuff he's saying. You know, for the money, though, and the donations, I mean, the money and all that stuff, yeah. You get the money. If he's donating to President Trump gonna take your money. That don't mean he believe like you. He'll take your money and shake your hand. That don't mean he believe that stuff you believe, bro. That stuff far out. It's wild. You commit corruption in the name of God. You say you send someone to harass a disabled person for 10 years straight. He's sick of it. He cussing them out. He not slapping them. He not punching them. He cussing them out. And you saying that he not saved, but you saved by sending people to harass someone. You saved, though. Paying them to go harass somebody. That's Christian stuff. That's what Christians do. And he defend himself with the disability, personality disorder, by the way, and curse him out. And you say he not a Christian, bro. Something wrong with your mind. Especially if you had your hands in murders before. And you saying he not a Christian, boy, you do anything to me, bro, I might end up suing you personally. You know I know all the stuff. You saying I don't have the proof. I put your name in them court documents, boy, they gonna come slap you in your mouth. They know you doing that. They know you doing what I said you doing. And it's some messed up stuff. I don't always win the money. I'll put your name in the court documents, boy. You're going to get slapped in the mouth now. Your wife might die. You know what I'm saying? Man, I wish and hope the best for everybody. That's just not reality, though. So it is what it is, bro. You come for me, though. I'm just letting you know you're not gonna win. I don't know how you think you a God and you know you ain't gonna win. Because I know I'm gonna win. And I know I'm with God. I don't see how you could be wrong 9 out of 9 times and think you with God. and you wrong 9 out of 9 times and think anything you doing have to do with God. Not only are you wrong, you admitting you wrong. And you're not 21 years old, you 70 years old, a leader, a 70-year-old leader. And you admitting you wrong and you think God is with you or supporting you. So come with what you want to come with. You know what's going to happen to you, boy. What's up, Sid? I ain't seen you in a minute, my boy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, man. Ghostwriter do this, man. The podcast is called Legal Wars Live. When I started this podcast, y'all excuse me, I was just outside, you know what I'm saying, some doing mist on the shirt. When I started this podcast, though, man, you know what I'm saying? In my mind, like, I started it during the election season. So I know that I wanted to get monetized on the channel. So I know if I talk about politics, I'm going to get that monetization quickly. You know what I'm saying? I know that for a fact. So I started talking about politics. But the reason I started the channel is because I won an appeal in the U.S. Court of Appeals off of one of these people. Bro, they gave me a career. And he spent all his time trying to stop me. Dude spending thousands, tens of thousands, saying God on his side. And every door he tried to, God keep shutting that door. Every time he tried, God to slam that door shut. Every time he tried, God to slam that door shut and he'll give me some money. The most money I ever got in my life. In November of 2024 and May of 2025, the most money I ever got in my life. So that's been about a year. And I got 2 checks or 4 checks. That's probably more. No, the 4 checks I got on paper, the most I made on paper, this on paper now, was like $32,000 a year before 2024. I got that in 4 with them trying to stop me. 4 checks, probably about 25 documents, legal documents, probably about 50 to 100 hours of work or effort of time, 100 hours of time, max. More than 30 rays. 100 hours, 30 rays. That's 2.5 weeks of 40-hour-a-week work, regular work. More than 32,000. I worked 10 months in a year and made 32,000. The most I made on paper. I got paid more money than that. You know what I'm saying? I think the most I made in my life was close to 50 in a year. That's it. 50,000. Yeah. As a single man, that's not too bad. $50,000 a year, and you ain't got no kids, no responsibility for you, but you, and you live in Mississippi, that's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? That's more than most of the people in the state make. And with them trying to stop me, him saying that he doing this in the name of God now. If he was just saying, hey, I just don't like this dude and I'm trying to stop him, and he beat me in all these court cases, that's one thing. But he's saying that God's speaking to him, telling him to stop me. If God telling you to stop me, he doing that to bless me. Because if I was the bad person that he said he was and God wanted to stop me, God, you saying God, the creator God. You talking about Jehovah Jireh. You're not talking about a church. You're not talking about yourself. You're not talking about a representative of God. You're talking about Jehovah Jireh trying to stop Gregory Dixon. God can't stop me. That's what he's saying, that I'm beating God. Bro, something wrong with you. God not with you. He doing corruption, defamation of character, vandalizing cars, harassing a disabled person. Bro, this dude doing 10 things that are clearly against God in the Bible. The only thing the disabled person doing to him is cussing out the people who come harass him and suing them. And he losing all the cases. So instead of just accepting things for what they are, After 10 years or the last 3 years of Miller Ray legal, he gonna try to do more stupid stuff like get banks to commit corruption and do that they shouldn't be, unfair banking practices. You're gonna get sued for. I don't care what your rules say. The rules in every that fired me said you could fire someone for no reason. Ain't that what the law say? See it. The rules in every state say that. And he lost every case. So I don't care what your rules say, bro. Us attorneys, we understand the law better than you. And ghostwriter understand the law better than your attorney. Maybe not. It's just I go against defense attorneys and all they could do is defend their client regardless of what their client did. Something stupid. And you know, sometimes you can't defend stupid or wrong. Sometimes there's no defense for what they're doing. But the defense attorney do the best he can. But I just wanted to come out and address that, y'all. Legal wars, man. That's what this channel is about. I'm not rambling. I'm not going off script. That's what really I started the channel to talk about the legal wars that I was in. That's why, but we never do that. We always talk politics. So when we finish talking politics, I get to the law and the legal battles, and I get down in the comments and I do what I do. And that's what's on my plate right now. 3 cases. And you can't do nothing about it. You try anything, any trick, you're going to have 4 and 5. Because you know you already got 4. Just waiting on me to file it. I do this all the time. I'll hold a case for 3 to 6 months. If I just got one case, excuse me. If I got 2 cases, I might go ahead and pop off both of them cases. If I got 3 cases, you finish all 3 of them that month. And I'll try to grab another one to put in my back pocket. I got 3 cases open right now, over 100,000 on the table. And if you do anything to disrupt the flow of justice, I'm going to be able to explain that on a court document, and that case coming right back, and you're going to catch a new one. You might catch 2, because I promise you I'm going to end up coming for you personally. That's how this going to end. Y'all, that's my time, man. For the dude who say I ain't a Christian, man, I hate that you feel like that. I hate that you think homeless people are going to go to hell, because who did Jesus come? When Jesus came to this earth, who was he with? He was with people who had money like you, or was he with the homeless vagabonds that you said are going to go to hell? Was he with the homeless vagabonds that the Republicans are saying that, not the Republicans, some Republicans saying are need to be euthanized? They saying they need to put a human to sleep because they're poor. You want to say that message any louder? You want to say the message that a homeless person is going to hell? You want to say that any louder? Did Jesus have a home? Did God have a home? Jesus, when he was on this earth, did he have a home? I know what he said in the scripture. He said that the Son of Man don't have a place to lay his head. I think that's in all 4 gospels. But all of a sudden, homeless people are going to hell. Bro, if you teaching stuff like this, I promise you, it's just a matter of time. Look, when the government come knocking on your door and you a church and you teaching stuff like that, don't say something wrong. Look at what you teaching. They need to shut you up saying stuff like that. Do you know what that remind me of, y'all? That reminds me of the time when they were killing all women and children, burning them at the stake. Can you imagine burning a disabled woman and child at the stake because you think they a witch? I'm talking about out there, bro. You could get out there, homeless people going to hell. You reading the scripture about Cain and the descendants of Cain wandering the earth. Bro, I'm talking about these people, bro. Don't use they'll use the Bible and God, bro, your imagination to go, wow, you out there in fairyland. Somebody who choose to fight for justice and sleep in a car for 2 months. Listen, if somebody at 45, they've been alive for over 500 months. And out of 500 months, they choose to sleep in a car for 2 months to fight against an evil man who's saying that he holy and righteous. If they choose that, bro, how is that a vagabond like you talking about? The dude, something wrong with your mind. You blinded by hate. I don't think you really crazy, or I don't think you really a bad person. You just blinded by hatred. That hatred got you blind. Somebody done said something to you, you done took it personally, you can't let it go, your ego too big, and now your hate got you blind. That boy blinded with hate. Saying he doing it for God. I'ma kill in the name of God. Every person I ever saw that said they were killing in the name of God, they were loony beans. Have y'all ever met a person who actually has said that they were killing in God's name that hadn't been a loony bin? You commit murders in the name of God, boy, you a straight loony bin. God told you to commit no murder. He told you to turn the other cheek. If you not no government authority and you ain't got no authority like that and you going around doing stuff like that, bro, ain't nobody going. The Bible says judge not and you will not be judged. So if you telling somebody you don't think they a Christian, they going to get on you. That's what God said. God said that. He said, judge not and you won't be judged. When they were finna put that woman to sleep in the Bible for committing a sin, I'm talking about a sin that God against what Jesus told him. And you sitting over there trying to judge people. And Jesus told you not to, so you gonna get judged. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take you in the court. That's how I'm gonna judge you. I'm not gonna get out here with people that I don't know, that don't mean nothing to me, who ain't gonna do nothing for me, and try to prove a point to them. Well, you prove a point to them, what you accomplish. If everybody in New York thought I was crazy and I was a madman and they hate me, what you accomplish? What you accomplish? Because you come up to me, you going to lose your head. Come starting stuff, I'm going to get on your neck. I'm going to take every dollar out your wallet. So I'm saying what you accomplish if you thinking that I'm a bad person. I'm saying I'm going to take you to court and I'm going to prove to court. For anybody in the rest of American history, all they need is that case number and they can research it. I'm going to put your name on documents for eternity. And I'm going to show the world how you a bad person. I'm going to prove that you a crook and a fraud in court. Judge not, and you will not be judged. If this man over here, if I go up to him and I judge him, he might not judge me back. He might not be like that. But I know God said that's what's going to happen. You going to get judged if you judge others. That's what God said going to happen. God going to judge you. You going to get judged. So you walking around and your whole mission in life is to judge people, and you think you ain't going to get, in the end, if God don't get you, I'm going to get you. I'm going to have you in that courtroom, and we going to put some stuff on paper that's going to tarnish and taint you for eternity. And the people that know me know I have that ability. I got the ability to say words that'll tarnish you for the rest of your life. Out of that case, I ain't got to get no money. That's not a money case. That case is to do one thing. That's a humble case. That case is to humble you. You can't be going around telling people that they not Christians because they doing something that you think is wrong when you as wrong as hell itself. God said that you are of your father, the devil. What's the first thing Jesus said? They were murderers. He didn't say they were child molesters. He didn't say that he said they were murderers like your father, the devil. You know if you a murderer? Man, you know, before you became a Christian, you was involved in something that looked like a murder, weren't you? You was there when a man got murdered before you became a Christian. And since you became a Christian, your hands are in all kind of situations where murder is being committed. I don't care what you call it. It's pure murder. Don't come for me. You keep coming for me, boy. I'm going to end up reaching over there and to Mississippi, boy, and I'm going to slap the black off you, boy. I'm going to slap you off your pedestal in that BMW. They could be in a shelter. I'm going to slap you off your pedestal. That's what's going to happen. I might not win the case, but the stuff I put on paper to you, I know how the court work behind the scenes. I know how the court work behind the curtain. The stuff I put on paper, I could promise to God they going to come deal with you, boy. Once they figure that they already know it's true. They've been waiting for me to sue you because they can't get you for the silver stuff you doing. They've been waiting for it, just like with Diddy. You think Homeland Security don't know what these famous people doing? It's hard for them to get to them. They lawyered up. They got money. They protecting themselves. It's the way the system works in America. But the first time Cassie sued P. Diddy, what happened to him? Homeland Security took that lawsuit and said, thank you. And they went and kicked this door in. They've been waiting on that. Thank you, Cassie. Now let's go do what we want to do, what we've been waiting to do. Listen, I'm telling you, that world of corruption, that world of rich people paying to get out of stuff, all that stuff going away, bro. I'm telling you, every nation in the world, all I got to do is shine a bright enough light on you and they going to come knock on your door. I'm telling you what I know for a fact. He might not know this. You in Mississippi, at the bottom of Mississippi, and you've been stuck there. I'm saying I'm around. I talk to all. You'll be surprised some of the people that I talked to that told me stuff that I cannot repeat. That told me stuff that have inside knowledge of stuff that's going on behind the scenes. This ain't no conspiracy theory, boy. They gonna come knock on your door. If you corrupt, bro, I'm talking about the next 2 years while President Trump's still in office. This the whole world government. 200 nations signed a piece of paper. If you corrupt, they gonna come knock on your door, bro. If you got money and you taking over and you taking advantage of people and all that stuff, bro, this is coming. So don't say if you a preacher that they attacking churches and behind the scenes, you know what you doing. You know what you telling people. You telling people that homeless people gonna go to hell. I don't see how that's different than Charlie Kirk saying that black people or whatever. That's hate, divisive language and speech. We ain't nobody trying to police no words in a church, but you don't tell people that homeless people need to go. That's that witches, autistic women and children are witches. Hey, I'm going to burn them at the stake in the name of God. And you out there burning a disabled person. You know God ain't got nothing to do with that. The devil in your ear. But you doing this in the name of God. And this is an autistic child. And they burning a child at the stake, a disabled child. Imagine that. This happened in America. This is real. This ain't fake. History repeats itself. They burning a disabled 4-year-old at the stake saying they are rich. I'm telling that religion, if you don't say it and do it right, it'll turn you into a kook. This dude a kook. He's saying that God telling him what? That homeless people gonna go to hell. This dude then chose to sleep in his car for 2 months to go fight for justice. And now you saying he a vagabond and he going to hell. Bro, something wrong with you, bro. You need to get corrected. Because this is what you're doing is affecting lives. Listen, judge not, and thou shalt not be judged. So I'm saying you do anything to me, bro, I'm going to reach long. That bank ain't just going to get it. That lawsuit ain't just going to stay open. I'm going to reach long, boy, and I'm going to slap somebody, boy. I promise you, I'm going to put your name in that court. I know how the court work behind the scenes. And I'm going to put enough truth. I'm going to tell the court a story about you that I might not be, just like what happened with President Trump. Listen, President Trump filed 60 lawsuits after he lost, saying that they cheated. He lost all 60 lawsuits. Let me say that one more time for the slow people. President Trump filed 60 lawsuits saying they cheated. In 2020, he lost all 60 lawsuits, but he president again. The court saw irregularities in the election. President Trump didn't win the lawsuits, but he won the war. So I'm saying when they come get you, if they can't get you all the way, they gonna get you how they get you, boy. Is that what you want? I'm saying you keep coming for me. You gonna pay a price. The prices I pay, I'm not no temporary person. I'm not gonna make a move that temporarily hurts you. If I make a move that temporarily hurts you, I'll walk around here telling all these people that you a piece of crap. But I know that all these people really don't know that you a piece of crap, or they really might care that that ain't gonna do nothing. That's temporary stuff. If I come for you, I'm gonna put your name on court documents that's gonna stay there for eternity, and I'm gonna paint a picture for you for the entire nation of what you are. And I might not win no money out of it. I done filed John Doe lawsuits. I didn't get no money out of it, but people I'm talking about mammy slap. So you can point to Texas all you want to. I'm pointing at Mississippi, and you gonna get mammy slap, boy, you playing with me. That's all I'm gonna tell you. You already got a case for police harassment, and I'm saying that I know the judge wondering like, what? Because I'm talking about this, the police own voice on the tape. I'm not going to accuse them of nothing. I'm recording this their own voice in your own words, and the judge listening to this evidence. So he wondering what's going on behind the scene, boy. You gonna get mammy slapped right from New York. I'ma reach back here from New York, boy. You play with me, boy. I'm telling you, that's how ghostwriter getting down. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you do. I'm going to sue that bank, and that case in federal ain't going nowhere due to the circumstances. And then I'm going to sue you too, boy. That being said, man, that's my time, man. You know what I'm saying, bro? I try to be honest, bro. I try not to mess with nobody. I got my problems. I got a disability. I need the medicine that I'm taking. I probably need more medicine than I take. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times an outburst is a disability. If you don't want to recognize that, that's why you lost 22 cases in a row. And you're going to lose 23, you're going to lose 24, you're going to lose 25 because you're not smarter than a doctor. And a team of doctors in Texas for the second time, a team of doctors in your state said I was disabled. And a team of doctors in Texas for the second time in 15 years said I have a disability. I'm not running that circle no more. I'm staying right here as a disabled veteran, and I'm fighting for all my justice and everything that's owed me. It's just I don't get out there and I don't do the hooping and the hollering as much. I've been doing this for 3 years now. I know what's going to happen. I know what it takes. I know almost every single move in this scenario. I know what the opponents say. My opponents, they ain't no different than they ever been. They run in an ordinary circle, the same circle. They just on repeat on everything they doing. They ain't no different than they ever been. No different. But I have learned a lot, and I'm exercising it, and I'm going to exercising it on that lawsuits. Good morning, Regan, baby. Good morning. Good morning. Guys, I appreciate your time, man. We've been streaming for 2 hours and 39 minutes. This is supposed to be our last stream in upstate New York. I'm not sure how that's going to go. We're going to try to see, though. We'll find out soon. Y'all, we have, I don't see Regan, you, baby, and Sid. I don't see much support at all from you guys on those videos. Excuse me. It's under the playlist tab. Under the playlist tab. On Legal Wars Live, man, on the landing page on YouTube, man, you have the We the People series. It's 6 videos. I'm doing this for you guys. My original channel members, bro, they told me they wanted me to get out there. They wanted me to boots on the ground, travel, outside, podcast and everything. I did everything they ever asked me for, delivering A1 content from my supporters in our first year anniversary. Giving you these outside streams. Y'all see the mountains and the lakes. You know what I'm saying? Giving you great political analysis. Try to change the show up for y'all. Try to do everything I can to please my channel members. Channel memberships start at $2.99. They got a voice. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them don't really be in politics. They ain't really political pundits like I am. Of course, that's why they're not behind the camera. But when it counts, when we have political discussions, they show up because they want to hear what Ghostwriter got to say. And I've given them everything they've asked me for on this channel. We're going to try to keep doing that. Guys, whenever I get in a situation bigger than me, I give it to God. I put it at the feet of God. Look at Sid. One channel membership. I appreciate you, my brother. He gave Melissa a channel membership. You know what I'm saying? Regan says, I always got your back, mister. I know you are a man of God. I know y'all know that. You know what I'm saying, baby? I know y'all know that. And I appreciate you, sweetheart. But I know y'all know that, man. You know? I don't care who tries to attack me, a manipulating, corrupt, murdering liar. I ain't trying to judge nobody, man. I don't want, ooh, look at my boy Sid, baby. That's what I'm looking for, y'all. Ooh, look at my boy Sid, baby. Look at my boy Sid, baby. Y'all see that? That's what I'm looking for, bro. That's 28 channel memberships this month. 3 weeks. That's more channel memberships. That's the most channel memberships we added since February. We added 60. 24 channel memberships. Sid, welcome to the channel. David Roberts, welcome to the channel. Mike Fresh, welcome to the channel. CEB, Applejacks, welcome to the channel. Jordan, welcome to the channel. Who else? Melissa, welcome to the channel, baby. Welcome, 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 guys. There's 28 of us. Truth and justice. Oh, man. Sid, you got my heart now. Where you at? Sid, we gonna give you control of the channel anytime you want to. You come in here and you just do your thing. Anytime you want to. You know what I'm saying? 10 channel memberships, y'all. That's 30. Listen to me. 33 channel memberships. 33, y'all. 33 for a new channel. Go ask YouTube first year. Vertical live feed. I know some people get hot, but you know what I'm saying? You talking top 3% of the creators. 33 channel memberships in a month, man. Sid, thank you so much. New, thank you so much, Sid, man. You just touched me, bro. I appreciate the love and support. That's what I need, man, more than anything else, man. And I promise y'all, if y'all support me, bro, we could start something for real. Because Ghostwriter going to keep it 1,000. I'm not going to lean to the left and I'm not going to lean to the right. I'm going to just give them the truth. Straight truth. Fighting for justice and give them the truth. That's two things I'm going to do. I'm going to fight for justice and I'm going to give people the truth, bro. Fight for justice and give people the truth. That's what I'm going to do. Two things, nonstop. So if I have it's just like Bernie Sanders or AOC. If I get the support from the people, then I'm not going to have to go to a studio. If I get the support from the people, then I'm not going to have to go nowhere else and try to get sponsors and get money. Because the people give you money, they going to control your message. If I get a sponsor who give me $200,000 and put me in a studio, Legal Wars Live belongs to that sponsor. You get that? I might own a percentage of it, but that sponsor is going to start dictating that message. But if I'm getting money from Sid and Reagan and you guys, I'm saying we ain't got to never change what we saying. We could always be a voice of truth. Because I promise y'all see what Charlie Kirk got killed. Y'all see the channel, we started getting 20,000. You know what I'm saying, on the live stream. So it's just that the politics isn't as hot right now this second. But guys, wait till next year's midterms, bro. Legal Wars Live gonna be jumping. We ain't gonna be on no vertical live feed. And the way we able to do that is because of my boy Sid. Man, Sid, I got mad love for you. He told me to keep going, bro. I swear on everything I love. I never for 1 second thought I was finna stop. Not for a half a second. Because the person that's saying that I am not a Christian, what I'm saying is that God got me here to correct you. Thou art the man. You a murdering liar. And you doing this in the name of God. Don't judge me, bro. The stuff you doing, sir, I don't care nothing about what you doing. I done turned my back and walked away from everything wrong that I know you doing and have done. You know what I'm saying? I see it. My legal ops, I turned my back on them. God said, turn the cheek. I done turned the cheek for 10 years and I'm walking away from him. I'm like King David, man, I don't want to destroy this old man. I don't want to destroy this old man. I'm not trying to get you, bro, but I'm saying you put me in that situation, bro. I'm talking about I'm going to pull you off your horse. That's what's going to happen. I know how to do it. You can't pull Elon down with no lawsuit. I don't care if you get him for 100 M's. He worth $700 billion. That's like $100 to him. But I'm saying there is ways that you can Elon, even if he got that much money. Elon too linked in with the government. I doubt very seriously he doing anything that corrupt or anything that isn't, you know what I'm saying? He too linked with the government. But I'm saying for this dude over here, he might have some money. I'm not trying to corrupt you, bro. I'm trying to get them people to smack them in the mouth. And I know what to put on that paper. Homeland Security come knock on his door, bro. Them people don't care nothing about you. You corrupt. You think President Trump wants you in his party? He trying to get to people like you behind the scenes. He don't want you in his party. You corrupt. He think it's the same Republican Guard, the same corrupt state stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you come for me, bro. I promise on everything I love, boy. I'm talking about the politician who's supporting you too. Your governor too. I'm gonna do a live stream on your governor and your whole state. I put this on my mama life. I'm gonna do a lot. All I need is 10 people to watch it. I don't need no bunch of views. I just need them people with that power. They be tapping in with Ghost Rider. I'm going to do a live stream on your whole state. Boy, I say some words and I destroy you with these words, boy. This ain't going to stop. I don't care what you do. It ain't going to stop. I could be in physical jail and I'm going to sue you for that. You don't believe me? I beat a dude up and sued the business. I beat him up and sued him at the same time. More than one. So that's what I'm saying. You put me in jail, I'm going to sue you 18 times. I got none but time. All I'm going to do is be in there writing lawsuits like a rapper be writing raps. That's how I look at the law. I used to be a rapper or make raps. So now I write lawsuits. And that's what I'm going to do. Like Lil Durk drop mixtapes. See it? I'm going to drop them lawsuits. Man, I appreciate that. See it? Thank you, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, thank you, thank you. He said, God sent me. I came when they said that. You know what I'm saying? Bro, listen, all I'm saying, though, Sid, though, like, you can't say God telling you to do something that's not wrong. I never believed that. You can't see it. So this dude telling me that God telling him to do A, B, and C, and everything he tried, it failed. He got me fired from a job saying that wasn't God's will for me to work that job. You know what happened? I got paid for him getting me fired and went right back into the job that he said God closed the door. He said God closed the door on the job. Listen to me, see, he said God. And I reopened the door. How can you reopen a door that God closed? Sid, you know your Bible. If you know your Bible, if God closed a door, you talking about the creator of heaven and earth close a door. Ain't no man reopening that door. He teaching falsehoods and fables. God ain't closed no door that I went back and reopened. That's you doing that. That ain't God. So you blaspheming God's name too while you doing this. You blaspheming the name of God. Put that down on your stuff. You not smoking a cigarette. You not drinking a beer. You doing much worse stuff. Much worse. You doing spiritual stuff. That's much worse than smoking a cigarette and a beer. You messing up people's lives. You trying to tell people that they not Christians because they coming against your corruption, lies, and murder. And look, he got some people believing him, not as much as he used to. You know, people they kind of know, they just let him do because they believe he a good person. But he still got some people over there with him, bless their poor heart. The blind lead the blind, y'all all going to the ditch. God ain't who you think. God ain't who it is very deep, Sid. Very deep. God ain't who some people think they are, man. You can't let your imagination make God. He making God be what he think God is in his mind. That's not what God is. God is this whole galaxy, universe, everything that's out there. That's God. You got to think of the expansiveness of him. You can't make God be a man, think like a man, act like a man, or make God be on your team or your side because you saying something or you believe something. Or you might know if this happened, this dude gonna do this or do that. You might be right with what you saying, but you can't go start committing corruption and lying and murder. God's not gonna be with that. You giving the enemy power. And that's what he doing with me. And basically all he doing is building my life up. That's not God with you doing that. That's you doing that. And you losing. And God might be telling you to do it to bless me. Yeah, he is. He the only powerhouse. The devil is God gave the devil. The Bible says that God gave the devil, the son of the morning, he gave him power over this earth. Over this earth. This earth. You got to think about it. You got Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter. That's just this universe. That's just this galaxy. You got millions of them. So he gave him power over it. God didn't say he gave him power over 1,000 things or 1,000 universes or 1,000 galaxies. God said he gave him power over this earth. So Regan, baby, he got power over this earth, but God has the power over everything. So that's why he might be winning the battle at first thinking it's God doing it, but it's really Satan. And I'm showing him that it's Satan that he with. That's why I'm going to court and everything he try to do, I'm going to flip it over and pick up a check. Everything he try to do to me, it take me some time. That's all he got is time and his mouth and his lies and his murderous plots. So everything he try to do to me, I'll flip it over and pick up a bag and leave. But God got him against me. Bro, think about it. God don't, you talking about the creator. You got to know, don't be saying Jehovah Jireh that recklessly. God ain't helping you do nothing, you crazy dude. God ain't with what you doing. And the fact that you can't see that yet got me thinking that maybe you ain't really part of God. You can't hear you're not hearing his voice in this situation, but you might be part of God. He might be telling you to do it to bless me. But I'm just saying, if God didn't want me to have nothing, I wouldn't have nothing. Am I right or wrong? If God closed a door, ain't no man gonna open it or gonna reopen it. So every door he was closing, I was going into court and reopening it. You talking about the richest business, one of the richest companies in the world, richest man in the world. And that door got closed and I went, kicked it. Hold up. See it in Regan. This is what happened. Before I kicked the door back open, the door closed. I picked up a bag for them 2 months they had me suspended and went back and kicked the door right back open and walked straight back up in there. God ain't closed that door. How God gonna close a door that ghostwriter could kick back open? That's not God doing that, man. I hope you able to see that before it's too late. That's you doing that. That's how you feel and your personal opinions. Do not be saying that homeless people are not going to heaven. That's damnable doctrine. When Jesus came to this earth, those were the people he was with in the church with people like you who condemning homeless people, who condemning the poor, turning your nose up against the poor and you represent God. That's blasphemy. Because that's not how Jesus did it. But while you condemning the poor and you condemning homeless people that you're supposed to be helping, and you harassing disabled people, your hands all in murder. Your hands was in murder before you became a Christian, and your hands in murder now. Dude, get out of here, man. You got them people fooled. You can't fool nobody like me, bro. See straight through you. You think I'm the only one see straight through you? I could call 3 people's name who put me on to what you was long time ago. I'm just not messy like that. They see straight through you too. You help them get money though. You help build their lives so they can't just come out and tell the truth. God sent me to tell you thou art the man. Don't come for me, bruh. Talking about homeless people aren't. Dude choose to sleep in his car for a few months. Out of 500 months, he been in his car for less than 2 months. And you said he going to hell for the purpose because he's homeless. Bringing up a scripture about the descendants of Cain being vagabonds and wandering the earth. This dude chose to do this, to fight for justice, a godly good cause, to go against you, you murderer. You were Cain. You the one believing murder. Cain believed in murder. You believe in murder. You Cain and can't even see it. How many people you murdered? I ain't never murdered no. I never went to get an organization and somebody ended up dying because of my action. God gonna require their blood at your hand. You don't even know that. Go read Exodus 33. But look, this is what I'm saying. I ain't never did nothing that had my hands in no murder. Never. God said he went in a synagogue, in your synagogue, he flipped over your table because all you care about is money. That's why you don't care about the homeless or none, saying that they going to hell. But if I had $1 trillion, he'd want me next to him on the bill. All the rich people, he want them next to him. He loved rich people because money is God. But the poor people or whatever he did, like, we going to sacrifice them. He a devil worshiper too. I ain't trying to get into all that. But he a devil worshiper too. Not a literal one, but the organizations he be with, they be devil worshiping. They got his nickname is a fallen angel's name, and he worshiping God. He in an organization that has the nickname. Imagine if I'm walking around saying my name is Lucifer when in the dark in that organization. But then you come in the light and you represent Jesus. You say homeless people are going to hell because they choose to be homeless for 2 months. He cussing somebody out with a disability, documented now, that you sending to harass him. He respond by cursing them out, and he going to hell for doing that too. But you're not going to hell for harassing him. You're not going to hell for something wrong with the dude, man. I feel for you, my brother. I love you, though. You don't love me, you dislike me or whatever, but I love you, though. That's what Jesus told me to do. He said, love those who, for without a cause. Without a cause, bro. So you keep telling your story, you keep doing your thing. I'm just going to let you know when they come, I'm suing everything moving, including you. I'm going to reach down there and I'm telling you, I'm going to do something to where them people, that stuff you doing, they going to cut that short. It's going to get cut. I'm going to file a lawsuit. I'm telling you now, you better listen to me. I ain't trying to get no money. I'm trying to get you smacked in the mouth. I put 8 names on that lawsuit and they all going to tie back to you. And them people ain't stupid. They got inside and all they got to do is listen to your cell phone and they going to know everything you got going on. Yeah, bro, that's what dudes say. Bro, he brought up a scripture talking about a vagabond. The children of Cain, he talking about a vagabond and wandering the earth and they homeless and they going to hell. And bro, I'm saying, see, this is what happened with me, bro. Like, bro, I chose to hit the road and at the same time litigate those cases. Because I had to file a lawsuit, see it in the city that I lived in. I'm talking about the whole government. I had to sue them. They were harassing me, trying to put me in jail. So I had to leave. So now I'm a descendant of Cain and the vagabond wandering the earth, bro. Like, he'll do stuff like that all the time because he used to telling lies like that or manipulating people and they listen to him. Bro, I'm going to sue the snot out you, bro. That's what that's what I'm going to do to him, bro. God sent me to tell you that thou art the man. You a murdering liar. That's what he is, see? He's a murdering liar. He's fraudulent. Judge not, and thou shalt not be judged. I said that on this YouTube stream, and I said that as well on Instagram. But you gonna come, don't send me no scripture saying no stupid stuff, bro, ever. Don't do that. Don't do that, bro. I'll make you look stupid. Don't do that, bro. I tell the people everything they need to know about you, bro. I promise you. Don't do that. Don't come for me, bro. I know you in love with me. I know that. It's okay to be a fan and be in love with somebody who got less than you. But just don't be trying to get my attention like that, boy. I'm telling you. Because whenever the person who sent me that see it, I know where it came from. It can only come from one place. It's only one person who got a mentality like that to say some stuff like that. That's crazy. That could only come from one place. It might not have been his mouth directly, but it was somewhere within a circle, a small circle of people, because they cuckoo. You know, a cuckoo started to say some stuff like that. You homeless, you going to hell. What? He a part of a party where some politicians said homeless people need to get euthanized. See, it's something wrong with these people, man. But he represent Jesus. And when Jesus was here, said, who was he with? He was with the homeless. He was with the lepers. He was with the tax collectors. He was with all the undesirables. Am I right or wrong, Sid? And the encounters that he had with the wealthy and the church people that we see in the Bible, him and the church people didn't get. Jesus, if you a church person, Jesus and you did not get along. You need to understand that. Jesus didn't get along with no church people. You might not know that or might not realize that or had somebody break this down, but Jesus did not get along with the church people. Those are the ones who killed him, the church people. So you a church person today and you doing everything against Jesus, but you represent God. That's not how Jesus lived. Jesus didn't say that the homeless was going to hell. He broke bread with them and fishes with them, and he fed them and he healed them. And he went in the church with the little preacher dude right there, and he flipped over your table and said that you are of your father, the devil. He was a murderer. That's the word God used, a murderer in the beginning. You committing the acts of your father. You was tied in with a murder before you made your profession. And you've been tied in with murder ever since. Your family members too. That's what you are, boy. You a lying murderer. I'm saying I could expose you like no one else can, bro. Don't come for me. That's all I'm asking you. You know what I'm saying? You got your family, you got your people, you got your followers. Be happy. I could see if I was out here like trying to come, bro, all the dirt this dude did to me or advised people to do or was a part of against me. I could see if I was coming at him like out here telling people about him and doing all that. Bro, I'm not studying the dude. I don't even think about him on a day-to-day basis. Why should I? But he wake up every day with me on his mind. Like laughing and joking, think I'm his buddy, thinking things cool, man. I'm telling you, something ain't right, man. You gotta get that right, my boy. Come here. Let me see what's going on up in there for you. Let me see what's going on in there for you, boy. You gotta get your head right, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to lose your head, man. You gotta get it right. God wants you to get it right before you die. He wants you to repent of the wrongs you done and just stop. Or don't and get destroyed. Said I love you, baby. I appreciate you, Regan. That's my time, y'all. I don't care how the devil attack me. God, the Bible say the devil is accuser of the brethren. Does it not say that? Am I making these scriptures up? I don't care how the devil attack me, he's supposed to. I don't care how he come from me, he's supposed to. Sir, you just know you spending your time harassing people, and I'm spending my time feeding people and telling people about Jesus. That's the difference between me and you. Just know that. Y'all, anytime I get in a situation bigger than me, I get on my knees and I pray and I lay it at the feet of my creator. His name is Jehovah Jireh. That's his name. I lay it at his feet. I get up and walk away. If you sending people to harass me and I'm cussing them out, don't question my salvation. I'm questioning your salvation for you doing that. You've been doing this for 10 years, man. 10 years. You still praying for right. You do it till you die. And thank God with you. And I'm going to become a millionaire off your back. Anytime I get in a situation bigger than me, bro, I give it to God. I get on my knees, I pray about it, and I walk away. You know what I'm saying? That's how I handle that situation. Like, Every day I wake up, I give thanks to God, regardless of what situation he got me in. I'm giving him thanks. This dude think that God with him because he got a little bit of money. So what you think that Michael Jordan, God with Michael Jordan? Michael Jordan is a man of God too. He got money. Putin is a man of God. He got money too. See, he praying to the God of money. He praying to the God of the dollar. That's why he's so cool with people who got money and he attack people who don't or who he think he don't. That's what he do. You see what I'm saying? I know more about him than I'm saying out loud, but I'm saying, bro, you come for me. God says, if you judge not, you will not be judged. You out here constantly judging people. How are you not getting judged? That's not what the scriptures say. If you constantly judging people, God said you gonna get judged. And I'm here to judge you, boy. I'll take you in that federal court in your city, bro. And I'm telling you, I'm gonna put something on paper to where behind the scenes, that court, that federal court, they gonna come and they gonna smack the fire from you, boy. Keep playing with me. Y'all, that's my... Y'all, whenever I wake up in the morning and I have to deal with people like this, I still give thanks to God. I call his name. His name Jesus Christ. His name Jehovah Jireh. It ain't no imaginary God. He got a name. I know who I'm praying to every day. I'm not just saying prayers. I'm going to say a prayer and you praying to Lucifer. He got a name. His name is Jehovah Jireh, boy. I come in his name. His name Jesus. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you say. All I'm going to do is take you in court and let your mind get right. I'm going to help your mind get right. Boy, you ain't beating this. You can't win. You need to humble yourself and say that, listen, King David, y'all, I'm going to tell this story. King David, a man came to King David and did just what he said I'm doing. A man came, this is all scripture. I'm not making this be what I want it to be. This is what's written. I'm not putting no tints and no slants on this. A man came to King David and cussed King David out. One of King David's top soldiers said, King, you just give me the word. I'm going to take that dirty dog head off. I'm going to kill him. He cursing out the king, the mighty King David. I'm finna kill him. But you know what King David said? See, King David had a real relationship with a real God. He wasn't some preacher who got a little money and who puffed up now and who arrogant or who's saying homeless people are going to hell. He wasn't that. You know what King David said? He got humble. That's what Jesus did. They get humble. People who know God for real, they don't be like you and run their mouth. When they was in that situation with Judas, Jesus stood up and said what the greatest commandment he gave, to love one another. You know what King David said in that situation? He said, God sent him to curse me. That's a man who got a relationship with God. This dude over here acting like a thug and a gangster. You ain't no Christian. Ye are of your father the devil. You was a murderer from the beginning, like your father the devil. Don't come for me, man. I'm not I'm not trying to be no preacher and preach no sermon. He the preacher. I'm not no preacher. But I'm saying the same way I litigate a case in court, if we was in front of God right now and God had he gonna get crucified. If he got to speak before God and I got to speak, that man will get crucified the same way he get crucified when I take him in court. What's the difference? He think he right when he doing his stuff and I take him to court. He think he right and he get crucified. So he think he right about the stuff about the Bible, but you dead wrong. You might be right with 1,000 people, but you come up against me, I'm going to prove you wrong 10 out of 10 times. It's very few people who got that skill set I got. A bunch of attorneys do. Not all of them. Some of them think they do, but they really don't. But there's some really good ones that do. I know I could call their names. I know one right now in San Francisco that worked for Tesla. That man is a good attorney. He a real good attorney. I'm talking about super good attorney. I know some ones that have the skill set to argue, but I'm saying like you can't come in against me, bro. You're not gonna win. So why say it? You showing people scriptures of falsehoods. You represent Jesus saying homeless people are going to hell. But when Jesus was here, he was with the homeless people. He was with the vagabonds that you talking about. Jesus was with the undesirables, the tax collectors, the lepers, the people that society had completely forgotten. He was healing them. And around the rich people and in the church, like that preacher, he went over there in the church and flipped the table over. Don't make my father's house a house of merchandise. This man is preaching Jesus and he got so much money and he preaching Jesus and humility. He wants you to be humble, but he not humble. Ask him what kind of car he drive. How big is your house? But he telling you to be humble though. Attacking homeless people. Turning his nose at the homeless people. And he represent Jesus. Which Jesus you represent? You must got a different Jesus than the one that's in the King James Bible or that's in the Holy Bible. Which Jesus you represent? Because that's not what Jesus did. That's what I'm saying. And I'm saying the church, the modern day church right now, if Jesus came back today, they'll kill him again. They wouldn't recognize him as God. I'm saying, listen, your main pastors, they saying homeless people need to be euthanized or homeless people going to hell. How could they because Jesus, when he come, that's not how he came. So when they see Jesus preaching against them, because if you didn't know, the people who killed Jesus was the religious people. They were his arch nemesis. And you a religious person, you God's arch nemesis, teaching this damnable doctrine. A man in 500 months, he been alive. He chose for 2 or 3 months to fight for justice. Chose. And you saying he homeless vagabond and he not saved. Something wrong with you, bro. You need some help. And every time you try to stop him, your attempts is blessing him. But God with you, murdering liar. Every time you try to stop him, your attempts to stop him, God blessing him. He got the most money he got in his life. Every time you try to stop him, you losing. But God with you, though. And we know you a liar. And we know your hands been in murder your whole life. Your hands been involved in some kind of murder your whole life. And every time you try to stop him, God, he getting money. But God with you, God ain't never lost no battle, homeboy. Never. Not one. God is not an army, a man army. You got to understand what God is. I heard somebody say the other day, God is the universe. He close. But it's just, we got more than one universe, don't we? We got universes and galaxies. That's our God said he don't know no other God besides him. That's what the Bible say. So all of this belongs to him. All of this is him. All of this is God, bruh. And he talking like God is just like a man. Can you understand? This is a being that's not a human. This being ain't no human. Jesus was a human. But I'm talking about Jehovah Jireh. This being ain't no human. He is spirit. You can't even understand that. You think when I say spirit, they think about a ghost. That's not what he is. You can say he a compilation of all the galaxies and all that, but I'm talking about the living God, the one that's in Revelations. With the hair white as wool and the eyes like flaming fire and the feet like brass, boy, I know my Bible. Don't come to me talking about no damnable doctrine. Because somebody's sleeping in the car because he's suing you for doing some illegal stuff. You saying he going to hell. What heaven you got to put him in? When your behavior don't match Jesus's. Actually, your behavior matches the opposite of Jesus. 3 hours and 15 minutes, man, I'm just telling my legal ops, you come for me, you gonna lose your whole head. You coming for me, we could heat this all the way up. I'm not finna sit down and lay down and be no sacrifice. You come for me, you gonna lose your head. Just pull up. All you gotta do is pull up. All you got to do is pull up. You riding by and you doing that posturing stuff. All that's showing me is that you scary. Pull up. Pull up. Bro, you know I ain't ran from a fight yet, and I ain't lost one yet either. I ain't trying to kill nobody, bro, but I'll do what I gotta do now to protect myself. Pull up. That's all I'm gonna tell you is pull up and let's see if God with you. A 6'7", 340-pound dude on everything in my life in Michigan came at me with a knife. And the same person who said that homeless people going to hell sent me the scripture a month ago said that God was with me because he came at me with a knife, 6'7", 300, and the fight ended with him hiding behind his girlfriend. And if his girlfriend wouldn't have been there, he'd be in hell right now. And it'd be nothing the police could do about it. That'll give me the biggest loss. If I end up having to kill somebody, I'm going to sue somebody for $1 million. I'm a disabled person. That's going to give me the most. That's going to scar me for life if I got to kill you in self-defense. So I'm going to kill the dude and get paid, become a millionaire. He going to make me a martyr. Not a martyr, excuse me. He going to make me a bigger legend than I am. Bro, cut out all the nonsense. Cut out all the hate stuff. Cut out all the clout chasing, man. You chasing clout with that stuff, man. And I'm saying you can spread love and joy, or you can keep teaching that hate, and you can keep getting what God giving you. He ain't finished with you yet. He ain't really even got started on you. And some people at 70 years old, they know God has never dealt with them in their entire life. Well, show me a time that God didn't deal with you. You've been comfortable your whole life, been a millionaire your whole life. God done gave you everything you wanted, and you out here lying and murdering people and talking about homeless people. God ain't got on you yet, boy, but he coming. It might be when you finna die. You might be walking around like a reprobate. That might be how God do you. I don't know how he gonna get you, but he gonna get every last one of us. So I'm saying I'm getting mine. I've been getting mine for 10 years. When you got yours? When you gonna get yours? You think God gonna give you a pass for your lies and your murder? Keep thinking that, bro, and I wish the best for you. But I'm 10 toes with everything I'm doing because I know what I'm talking about. Just like I tell you, you're gonna go to court and lose, and you do all that talking and you lose every time. I know what I'm talking about and you don't. That's what that is. I know what I'm talking about and you don't. You talking about somebody screaming and you let him, he's saying somebody talking loud. This is a person, I got a disability, documented. And he letting people molest children. And you talking about somebody screaming. You chasing a man around talking about screaming and something he did 30 years ago that's not illegal. But if you got money, he'll let you molest children. Look, you know that dude who signed that piece of paper, y'all. What's his name that signed that piece of paper for Jeffrey Epstein? Alex Acosta. You know the Trump administration, they interviewed him again, and he said that he's standing 10 toes behind letting Jeffrey Epstein go. Look, I know Jeffrey Epstein might have been helping America with some secrets and stuff. Like, it's stuff that I ain't gonna talk about. You can find it on the internet. Jeffrey Epstein was helping the government. I understand that. He was a snitch. I understand that. But what I'm saying is, bro, man, listen, the world just so messed up, bro. Don't come at me trying with your self-righteousness. Do that to the people who believe in you and follow you. If I'm away from you, I chose to be. Don't come at trying to indoctrinate me with your self-righteousness, because I'm going to judge you. Every time you judge me, I'm going to judge you to show you that's what God said. Every time you send somebody to harass me, I'm going to make them regret it. The words out their mouth, they going to regret it. Every single time, 10 out of 10 times. That's to show you to stop doing that stupid stuff. I don't submit or bow to nothing nobody say. That's not in the law or in the Bible. I'm 45 years old, bro. Ain't no dude look, this dude come face up to me head to head, I beat the snot out of him. He know it. He's 70. I'm not trying to take advantage of him. I'm just trying to show you, you can't control me like that. If I sue him, he need a lawyer. I don't need no lawyer. He need people with him. He need people with him. I'm by myself. He need people with him. He needs them with him. He running around, hiring people and talking to everybody like a little busybody girl. Hey, he's a bad guy. Hey, everybody, he's a bad guy. Hey, he accused her of the brother. He like the devil. He needs that. I don't need none of that, boy. I'm 10 toes out here by myself. You ain't built like me. You ain't strong as me, boy. He over there talking about get out of your comfort zone, and he's 70 years old, and for 30 years he been in the same spot he been in. When he get out of his comfort zone? When he got out of his comfort zone? But he'll preach you need to get out of your comfort zone. He'll preach that you need to be poor, and he a millionaire. Bro, look, that fraud stuff, that Jim Jones stuff for them people drink Kool-Aid who follow you, let the dummies follow you. They dummies. Let them follow you straight into the pits of hell. Let the dummies follow you straight into the pits of hell. They just as wicked and corrupt as you are. They all wicked. Let them follow you. I'm not following you into hell. I'm not following you to hell. I'm not doing that. The blind lead the blind, y'all all going to the ditch thinking you just like Jesus. Show me how you like Jesus. You and your personality. I ain't talking about the words you saying. I'm talking about how you living. Show me how you like Jesus. That's my time, y'all. I love y'all, man. I'm out. Y'all hear me? Y'all stay tuned, man. Y'all go to the link in the bio. Bio from my Instagram page, man. It's 11 o'clock, y'all. I got to get on down, man. I got so much going on, but I appreciate every last one of y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Every last one of y'all, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, man. That's my time, baby. I'm out.